All right, we're streaming.
Yay! I will get the stream up because now I'm finally sitting down. I got my gut hanging out. I got my beer in one hand. I'm ready to go.
Okay,
beer.
And I will, and I'll just put up the link, and we will be good to go. Fantastic. So, as I am wont to do, are there any questions that you guys have for me before we get into the session proper? What happened?
Yeah.
Okay. Would anyone else like to explain, or shall I?
Bomb.
Okay.
No,
very descriptive.
Personally, you're always much better at recapping than we are. So.
Well, thank you. Okay. Well,
he is, but don't kiss his butt.
Yeah. So, Z, after that meeting with Z, he mentioned that he identified what is believed to be Hell Riders in a warehouse location. So you're all agreeing you're going to go there, you're going to stop them one way or another, violently, non-violently, etc. Managed to reconnoiter with Tom, and your character was NPC'd by myself. And sure enough, we followed Z to the warehouse. They called Northern Gun for backup, and after getting assessed of the situation, they said they were currently chasing down the final, ringleader of the Hell Riders, this Joseph Gray guy known as the Gray Ghost, and they were pretty much having most of our assets on that. But if they could identify and confirm what the information that their informant gave them, then they could send a few mercs and a couple other personnel their way. The party was confused how exactly they could do that without being right in a fight with the Hell Riders, because they're assuming this is a very hostile encounter. And then they assumed correctly, because sure enough, they got in the warehouse, and there's 23, with thermal heat, there's 23 individuals there. And Z was eager to go in there and optimize them. There was a good debate on how to approach the situation, but it pretty much came down to they had Z jump through the ceiling, knock out the power generator, then make an example of a few of them, and hopefully the rest of them would just fall into place because they didn't want to get ripped apart by a cyborg. Where in the meantime, the party would also converge at different locations and continue to intimidate them. That was well underway. He barged in. He knocked down the power. He killed a few people in a very straightforward way. He punched his hand through their chest and ripped their heads off. But it was only about three or four people. He was playing rock music at Lavin's request. I do recall that. He also said that if any of them were religious, he would say prayers for them. So the last thing they ever heard were like invocations to their deity.
I was gonna say, so it was basically, what's that one movie called with the Norman Reedus and
Boondock
Saints.
Boondock Saints, kind of. Kinda.
I realized
Irish vigilantes with the robot.
Yeah.
Sorry,
no one took him up on that offer. I just realized.
Yeah, well, there was a ton of gunfire, right? And it's completely black. It's completely dark. Gunfire is going everywhere, right? There was a Borg at the front that Mila Al wanted to cast Carpet of Adhesion, but it takes a few seconds for him to cast a spell. So Mila went in and distracted them by telling him a story about Jackie, and the moral of the story was they were supposed to give up.
Wait,
he
Mila
didn't
or Ellie?
No, sorry, Ellie.
Okay, I was gonna be like,
No, Ellie.
Okay,
Ellie.
Cool.
Ellie did that. Anyway, push comes to shove. It's so dark that they ask Z to give them some light. So he jumps through the roof again so some daylight can come through. And that's when realizations start to occur. The first is that they recognize a few of the faces of the debriefing from the Northern Gun when they debriefed them about the black market, not the Hell Riders. In particular, a fellow named Smokes and an assassin named Billix. Secondly, Ellie got a vision of a bomb nearby that was going to go off. It was a combination of your clairvoyance and your sixth sense. It was buried in a drainage pipe or something like that nearby, and it was going to go off, and it was really, really large, and it was counting down to like 73 seconds. And finally, Basilisk showed up with a small entourage behind the way and pretty much asked the party what the hell they were doing. Because turns out this was a black market meeting point, not a Hellrider meeting point.
Awkward.
And the black market were expecting representatives from the Hellriders to broker a peace agreement, an agreement. And you guys showed up instead and started blasting them. So Patrick and Lavin and Al disarmed the bomb, thankfully. Z, once he went off to the roof, he never came back. So he's MIA for right now. And things got sorted out with the black market people. Only about 3 or 4 of them died. But it pretty much marked the end of the black market regardless, because during the discussion, they found out, I don't know if you might recall this or not, when you're first trying to meet up with Jalea, Basilisk brought in this guy who was in like a construction worker's outfit, and he had like a walkie-talkie that you were talking to the dame on.
Yes.
Yes. He actually was the dame's new number 2 since Milo took off. And he was the one who set up this meeting on the black market's end. So they're concerned that he just turned traitor and joined the Hellriders as well. So with all this new information, the party was later contacted by the dame outside of Ishpeming, by that tree that never changes its colors. And there was a brief meeting. Jalea showed up. Jalea was along with the dame. And long story short, the power balance in Ishpeming, it was just too much. The dame is going to retreat to fight another day. She's leaving Ishpeming. She's exiting the area. And because she's doing that, she can no longer protect Jalea or any other people that she would protect in these safe houses. So introduced Jalea to the group.
Huh?
She asked Al why his voice was different and why his face was different, and he gave her an answer, and she's very quiet right now. She's headed off to the behemoth. In addition, Lavin got communication from his, for lack of a better word, broker or agent, a bounty hunter contract guy, Denzel Gold. He says he has a new job, some sort of treasure hunting like thing for them, so he can stop on by and learn more about that. In addition, the Northern Gun, they believe they captured the Grey Ghost. They captured 3 people, which they think is the Grey Ghost. And they said they're going to reevaluate the situation and then contact you, the party, in regards to that as well. So, did I miss anything, guys? Anything of import?
No?
The only thing of import that I can think of that may or may not be of import is that Z, we're really suspicious of him right now, not only because he disappeared at the most convenient time possible, but that he had assured us that he could jam their radio signals while keeping ours open, because to him, technology is simple. Our radios were jammed the entire time.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. So they're not too sure about Z. So what I plan on doing for this session is to start things off with a little in-character roleplay between some NPCs and you guys, because you just got back on board the Behemoth.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, it's really kind of 3 things that you guys, they're all optional, but they're things that you can touch on. One is doing your debriefing with the Office of Loss Prevention. The other one is checking up with Denzel Gold and see what he has to offer. And third is you know the next meeting point in which you're supposed to meet Z the next day. You kind of always have that standing noon appointment. So if you want to know what's going on with him or confirm suspicions or get reassurances or whatever, you might want to stop by there as well, just to see what the hell is up with Z, right?
Mm-hmm.
They get hopefully some concrete answers. So if that's okay by you guys, I'll start off with the role play. A-okay?
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
Yep.
So it's outside. It's the middle of the afternoon, around 3:00 in the afternoon. The sun is shining with a little bit of spotted cloud cover, and the 3-vehicle convoy that housed Miss Angela Dubois and the last remnants of the black market cell in Ishpeming have ventured off into the distance. Before they did that, however, Fievel, the little furry DB that was hanging around the tree there, he actually crawled down, collected his belongings, and joined that convoy as well. Jalea, as she steps in with her robot assistant, who appears to be some sort of labor bot, but has a lot of cosmetic additions to it. Instead of a metal chrome skin, you can see this synthetic flesh on it. Very similar to what was on Jackie, but of course, instead of fur, it's the deep, creamy skin tone that matches that of Jalea. The robot resembles a woman in her mid-40s or so, dark hair, dark eyes, wearing what appears to be like a plaid dress, a long plaid dress. It walks, its movements are very stiff and robotic, and when it moves its head around, and when it speaks, it's very clearly synthesized. The behemoth, now holding both yourselves and Bear, Alicia, Blink, August, Jalea, Basilisk, Marla Stotch, Zoe Wedgwood, and Morgan McLaughlin. Oh, wait, no, not Morgan McLaughlin. Wait, no, and him too. Sorry. Poor McLaughlin, always forgotten. The behemoth, although normally spacious for a small group of people, is slightly cramped. I guess you could say the living area where the little kitchen and the small kind of den is before you get to the end of the rooms is packed with these individuals. Mm-hmm. And the first words that Jalea speaks while on the behemoth, she turns her head towards the direction of which Al is at, and she's still wearing these thin-framed sunglasses, and she says, "Is there somewhere private we can talk?"
Yes. Oh God, I was about to say my room, but Al just realizes that his old beat-up arm is in his room.
Is it in his room on the Rhapsody?
On the behemoth. He's never like moved it out of there, I would think. Well,
the NPCs have been using those.
Okay, good. Thank you. Then yes, it would make sense. He would have moved it. Thank God.
Okay.
Then he would say, "Of course, my quarters are this way."
And she follows you there. Before we get into that particular conversation, no, actually, there's some NPC interactions with the other group, but they'll probably wait a few minutes while there is a conversation going on in the other room. It wouldn't be broached right away. So let's just continue on with that then. Jalea follows you, enters your small room along with Mims that toddles on behind her. Jalea from time to time kind of brings her arms out along the walls to guide herself along. As she enters the room, She asks you to close the door, which I'm assuming you do so.
Yes, I do.
She sits down on the small chair that you have in the corner there with the robot, which you know as she calls Mim, or MIM for short, or Mim for short, I guess, for MIM. Stands attentively beside her as she says, "How is this possible?"
Al would. Is it safe to say there's like there's like a other chair in the room, someplace else
No,
for
you know,
him
the
to
bed or the
yeah,
edge of the bed, maybe.
Yeah. Al would sit down on the edge of the bed and kind of sigh and say, "Through very powerful magic."
At the word magic, her face frowns and grimaces, and she says, "So what they said about you was right?
What did they say?
That you were a traitor. You betrayed our government. You betrayed our family. That you shirked your duties and ran off with powers that you didn't understand and were corrupted by them. I thought it was a lie. I thought it was a mistake or fabrication. Maybe you made some powerful enemies and they had to put you in your place. That's why I came out to find you, to clear your name. But if you are who you say you are, and Basilisk swears it up and down, Miss Duvet says it's extremely likely, then they were right. They were right, and this was a fool's errand."
Al, as calmly as he can, says, "Allow me to explain myself and then make that decision."
She brings her head low and she says, "I'm here. I'm listening."
Al says, "When I last left you on a covert op, I was stationed in a hospital in Laszlo, pretending to be a doctor to keep my eye on things, because the Coalition only sees allies as potential enemies in the future."
She once again frowns as you besmirch the Coalition.
He says, "During my time there, a small skirmish between a squadron of Coalition dead boys and dog boys and the Laszlo forces ended up in the capture of a certain dog boy named Rex. I was given orders to stay next to him. He was rumored to be spreading sedition among Coalition lines. I was to determine if this was true and report back to them. So I started taking care of him. As I started taking care of him, I began to learn that he was remarkable. He was a dog boy that cared so much for his troops and his men and his masters that he wanted to take care of them. He was more loyal than anyone I had ever seen. He made me proud to be a part of the Coalition. And then he told me that he felt the best way for him to take care of his troops was to be a higher rank. Because if he could be a higher rank, then he could make decisions to help them. But to Coalition Command, he's a dog boy, not a human. So he's not capable of being a higher rank. And for him to suggest it, to request it, to spread the idea, well, that's sedition. I couldn't believe it. To me, this man, this dog boy, this Rex was everything that a Coalition soldier should aspire to be, and my friend, no less. So I sent word back to command telling them what happened, assuming that they would understand and see it how I did. Instead, the orders I got back were to poison him Because if it looks like Laszlo killed one of their prisoners of war, that's some nice blackmail that they might be able to use in the future. And it gets rid of dangerous, seditious ideas all in one blow. I couldn't do it. I could not kill a friend of mine in cold blood whose only crime was to want to be a better soldier. They must have known, or maybe it was all a big test for me, when I went in to help him run, to tell him another agent I didn't even know was there got to it first and had injected the poison into his IV. We scuffled. He ran, but not before it was too late. I had to sit there and tell Rex that there was nothing I could do, that his masters had sentenced him to death. And do you know what he said to me, Jalea? He said it was okay. He said that if they wanted him to die, there must have been a damn good reason for it. And I knew that instant, that second, I could not be a part of an organization that would brainwash someone so badly that they thank you when you murder them. So I ran. If that makes me a traitor, then I'm sorry, but I'm a traitor. But that doesn't mean I have stopped loving the coalition or the people there. It just means that I cannot wear that uniform when it is run that way.
She nods a little bit. She says, I have a dear friend too that's a dog boy. I know the loyalty that you speak of. But if that was it, she says, if that was the whole story, then I could understand that. I could live with that. We could, perhaps, with Dad's influence, straighten things out. Or at least make it so you weren't hunted, or at least not branded a traitor, and mark our name. But that, and she points right to your chest. Why are you that?
Because that day made me question everything I had ever learned. Every idea that had ever been put into our heads that we're better because we're human, that magic is evil, that psychics need to be watched.
So what did you do with your old body? She asks. And everyone can hear it on the other side of the door.
Yeah.
Are we all just like pressed up against the door listening?
I'm pressed up against the door, but I'm gonna move to you guys in a moment once Julia gets the answer there, because I don't want to interrupt the scene just like that.
Al says, I did what I had to do to stay alive and keep my friends safe.
That's not an answer. Where is my brother's body? Where are you?
Gone.
So you threw it away. You threw away Mom and Dad's gift. Mom is dead. She died giving birth to me. And you threw away that? Why? Because you questioned our government? Our military?
No.
It doesn't make any sense.
I didn't throw away my body. I did not.
You said it's gone.
I did not become an elf just to spite the government. The coalition was hunting me, and they are very, very good at it.
Then why didn't you try to reach me or Dad?
Because
why couldn't you let us try to straighten it out before you became this?
Because to reach out to you puts you in danger. If they thought you were involved, if they thought that you had knowledge or had somehow helped me, you would be in chains or worse.
I'm sorry, Jordan. That's not true. They already thought we were involved, at least in some way. Dad lost his generalship and his contracts.
What?
He can't continue along a military path when his son is branded as a dangerous traitor. He's under house arrest. He's stuck doing menial things. Well, I couldn't no longer see him that way. I had to take action. I had to find you. And this is what I find out.
What do you want from me, Jalea?
I
spent
want my
6 months-
brother back.
You, of everyone in this world, should know that a face does not make a man or a woman.
I don't care, she says. This is my body, my flesh and blood, and you are in the flesh and blood of a DB. If foul magic made you that way, then maybe it can make you back. That's the only way you're going to have any chance of seeing Dad again.
Al's
So-
face
okay,
grows
okay.
dark. Yeah, and he goes, foul and magic. DB.
Yes, foul magic.
What makes it so foul?
It steals away the body of the person I love the most, and it corrupts them.
You don't
And with that,
know.
with that, I'm gonna quickly whoop, just so this
Sure,
isn't just
sure.
a complete dialogue between you and me for the first half hour of the session.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Gonna switch over to everyone else who's kind of just
Hi.
waiting outside.
Awkwardly.
And awkward cough, and you're gonna hear it like Basilisk is gonna cough a little bit. He's like, So, Lavin.
I wouldn't be at the door. I think Lavin would be like stirring his coffee or something.
Yeah. He's gonna go up to you,
What's
stir
going on?
your coffee. He's gonna say, you know Ishmael real well, right?
Yeah, I've been around a little bit.
Okay. Maybe you can let me in on a trade secret. What's the best place to get the hardest mother-loving drink in that city?
Out of character. What was the name of the place where we almost started a bar fight?
Oh,
Because they were being rude to Ellie or
yeah. It was a workers' bar. Shit. The name
I
of-
say that place.
I say that play, that name. Oh, shit. Oh, bad GM.
It's like a building out of like 5,000 Inferno. I think we can give you a pass.
Yeah, no kidding.
Okay, all right, fair enough. I'm just like, I like to write down everything. Fuck.
Oh, well, yeah, we know that.
Yeah.
I didn't think to write that one down, so I don't have it.
No. It's not your fault. Okay. I'd have to listen back to the recording. Let's not waste our time. But you give him that location. It's on the tip of my tongue too. Oh well. And he goes, okay. So after brother and sister there hash things out, I suggest we go back there and we drink until we don't feel feelings anymore.
Yes. Very
Yes.
good.
Okay, good. That's an open invitation, Basilisk says as he looks around to everyone. And Marlis Stotch, after his private meeting with Angela Duvet before they take off, he's the only one who he almost seems distracted, like he's looking like he's looking out the window of the behemoth, and he's just paying kind of vague attention to what Basilisk is saying or the drama that's unfolding in the room deeper into the behemoth. And he goes, sorry, I'll pass on that.
Yeah,
Well-
meeting up with your lady friend later or what?
No, no. She's gone now, off to bigger and brighter things. I was just pondering, thinking of old days and whatnot. And I do have to say, although a part of me is very glad that my old friend, dear Angela, hasn't come to any sort of physical harm. I am glad that her plans in Ishpeming have failed. She told me that she had noble intentions, wanting to prevent a monopoly in that city, to not deal with trade or business like her other cohorts in the black market out of Chi-Town. But regardless of how noble those intentions were, we saw for ourselves it was a criminal enterprise, and it fed on people's weaknesses. It took away without giving an equal part back. So, in a way, as bittersweet as it is, I'm glad she's gone. I never thought I'd say that, but life has a strange things of changing people. as I think we are hearing right now.
Pretty loudly at that.
Yes, well.
Ellie has her ear pressed up against the door, even though she was It's not going well.
No.
Well, in the meantime, Zoe and Marlis, do you guys want to? Should we head back to the Rhapsody for now and just unload our stuff? Maybe set you up. Unless you guys want to head back to Ishpeming for the day or two.
Zoe gives a thin, pleasant smile to Tom, and she says, I never thought I'd say this, she says, at least not in the short time I've been there, but I think the Rhapsody would be a fine place. Although I do encourage that you visit Ishpeming at least and finalize your plans with the Northern Gun, since the contract that I signed with Mr. Lucas Buck takes effect as soon as the Hell Riders, that task became completed. That way they could be assured that they could trust you, and all future businesses would be happening smoothly. I know they're supposed to contact you. So, as for myself and Mr. Stotch and Morgan kind of nods along as well, Morgan here, yes, and perhaps it would be a good opportunity to show Basilisk around the place and Jalea, if she wishes.
Yeah, I think that would be the best option. And he's going to turn to both Lavin and Basilisk. As of right now, Basilisk, you are still supposedly a part of the black market, so you being seen with us at the moment is not the best idea.
Oh, yeah, you gotta spin your little fabrication about,
Yeah. So
okay,
we
so
gotta
change of plan.
We do have booze on the ship.
God, I hate all this cloak and dagger shit.
I'm sure you got the noblest of intentions, but listen. And he kind of struts himself up in a ridiculous pose. He says, Lavin, what's your face? What's your last name, kid?
Planter.
Lavin Planter, I am embarking upon you the most important quest of your entire life. I want you to take this yonder cred ship that has 100 credits on it. I want you to buy me the cheapest, most expensive, hardest liquor you can get. I mean stuff that will strip paint off of this goddamn behemoth. And I want you to bring it forsooth upon my hands in the Rhapsody in no less than 36 hours. Is that cool?
Yes, sir. Basilisk, sir.
Great. Then I knight you, Sir Lavin of douchebag. Now get me hammered.
Hey, Ellie, is running over to Basilisk and trips in the process and, crawls over. Can I be knighted too? I want to be a douchebag.
Oh, all right. He says, sure. When I first met you, I thought you all were douchebags, so we might as well make it official. He says,
oh, that's so sweet of you.
Hey.
Hey, a douchebag is a very clean item. Anyways, all right. What name do you want to go by?
Ellie.
Okay. Ellie, do you want to be like a princess or some shit? Or
I would love to be a princess.
Okay, all right, great.
She's now shaking with anticipation.
Oh my god, okay, Basilisk is almost taking it back by this. Not sure if you're just taking this joke really, really far, or you really have high expectations. Regardless, he takes the cred chip from Lab and he says, in just a moment, I'll give this back to you. All right. Ellie, I hereby, in all my powers, I guess I wouldn't say I knight you, I princess you as Lady Ellie, Queen in Waiting of Douchebaglia. Yeah,
I am honored. Okay, Lavin, where are we going?
We're going to find booze.
Okay, let's go.
But
right.
But I'm gonna take the behemoth to the Rhapsody, and then we're going to go back to. But okay, bye.
Yeah. So the plan. Oh, I guess you guys could disembark and take a personal vehicle that's in the Rhapsody, that's in the behemoth.
You guys can straight up take an ATV. because we have to.
Yeah, you got. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I mean, either Patrick can drive the ATV if he wants to come along. If he doesn't, he wants to go back to Rhapsody. Alicia can drive the ATV.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So, wonderful. So, Patrick,
Yes.
who do you want to stick with? You want to stick with Behemoth Crew, or do you want to go on the Basilisk's extremely important quest?
He's probably going to stick on the Behemoth. It sounds like Al might need some help.
Yeah, fair enough.
He's getting the 9th degree in there.
Yep. Speaking of, if it's okay by you guys, let's go back.
Head on
in
back.
there.
Sure, as long as you make a note that the behemoth will start moving.
Okay, sure. I think either sibling is just too emotionally involved right now to really notice and or care. So I think we're good. So in character where we left off, I believe was the words foul magic.
Yes, somewhere around there.
Right.
Yeah, that they stole away her brother and
Yes.
yeah. Al's eyes are wet as he tries his best to keep a calm face. And he says, "We were raised to think that, so I don't fault you. But it is not what you think it is. If I had not done this, there is a very, very good chance I and all my friends would be dead. If I did not do what the Coalition didn't expect, what they never saw coming, they very well could have found me and dragged me back to Chi-Town in chains, and you would have seen me die. Is that what you wanted?"
Why? She pauses for a moment. I understand that, I suppose, although I hate it to the core. But if that were the truth, I know the blonde woman and the woman that's wearing that wig and the man with a helmet on his head. They're all wanted by the Coalition as well. They haven't changed. They haven't become elves or DBs or had different bodies. So if it was something that had to be done, how come you had to do it and they didn't?
Because there's a difference between being wanted by the Coalition and being hunted by the Coalition. They have new IDs, new passports, new everything. They could walk through most Coalition checkpoints without batting an eyebrow. But me, Tom, not a chance. We are actively hunted. And that makes all the difference in the world. Please, Julia, believe me when I tell you that...
I don't know what to believe.
Al pauses and closes his eyes as a tear runs down. And then he opens his eyes again and he says, "I understand."
No, you don't. Stop saying you understand. You don't. Answer this question. How? What horrible spell was cast in order to turn you into this? Did you do it?
No.
Then who?
An ally of ours. By the name of Tyrath.
All
that
right.
means nothing to you.
No, it doesn't. But we're going to see him. I want to hear it from his words. I'm going to make him change you back.
That isn't possible.
You know what? Everyone said that a blind girl, even with or without a robot or my gifts, shouldn't leave Chi-Town, shouldn't go on this fool's errand. Before I met Yasmin and Basilisk and Ezex, everyone else laughed in my face. They said that was impossible too. They said finding you was impossible. And here you are, a completely different race, a completely different person, and yet I found you. You are my brother, aren't you?
Yes.
Then
And I am...
I've already done the impossible. We're going to do it again.
No, you haven't. You did the improbable. What I'm telling you is impossible.
I don't care.
My body, there is no way to bring it back.
Magic destroyed this world. I'm sure magic can bring back a body or two.
You know
I don't
nothing
know.
about magic.
You're right, I don't. But you're saying it's not that bad, right? You're saying it's not all destructive. It doesn't just take away. Isn't that what you've been trying to tell me? That everything that the Coalition told us was wrong?
Not everything, no.
Okay. Well, that's what we're going to do. It's either that, or I go home and tell Dad that his son is dead.
Al is quiet for a long time and then says, "What happened to you? What turned you into such a close-minded person? You would lie to Father simply because you don't want to...
lie.
You don't know that. You don't know
Then prove
that.
me wrong.
I will, given the chance. Give me time. You know me better than anyone here. Someone could impersonate your brother for an hour, a day, maybe a week, but a month? No one would be able to pull the wool over your eyes that long. I will prove to you I am your brother, and I will prove to you I am not corrupted."
I only have one request then. If I'm to believe all of this, before I can trust you, before I know that you haven't been corrupted like they said, I'll need my other friends. We need to go to Tolkien, get Ezex, and we need to go to New Laszlo and pick up Yasmin.
Of course. Whether or not you believe I'm your brother, you are perfectly safe here, and we will get your friends.
That's what Basilisk said. And I don't have much of a choice otherwise, do I?
You have a choice. You always have a choice.
No, she says. There are choices, and then there are choices that are so bad that the opposite is just ridiculous. She says, for morning, I could have oatmeal, or I could have razor blades. No one's going to eat the razor blades. So I either go with you, a man who says my brother, a man who got rid of his body to become an elf, who speaks highly of magic like it was nothing.
Al is
She
quiet
trails
for...
off, and you can see that she's crying underneath of her sunglasses too. She says, that's it for now, I guess. Just, I hope I'm wrong, but I don't know. This is not what I expected at all when I met you. This is not how I had it played out in my mind, and I have no idea where to go from here.
Al is quiet for a while, and he says, "This isn't what I would have wanted either."
Well,
I'm sorry, Julia.
don't, she says. Don't apologize to me yet. Not until we get to know each other better.
Al just closes his eyes and hangs his head.
And with that, she'll get up by the arm of Mim, and she'll go towards the door and she'll open it. And she says, when you're ready, I suppose a proper introduction is needed with your friends. I see that they have all gotten pretty chummy with Basilisk already, so that's good.
Right. Al takes a deep breath, kind of wipes his eyes a bit, and then hands her a handkerchief or something, and then passes her to go make introductions.
All right. Sure enough, we don't need to role play.
Yeah, sure.
This is Julia, all that good stuff. Okay, so now we're going to slip out to a more narrative point of view. We've gotten the initial emotional outburst out, and now there will be plenty of time for more NPC interactions, especially with Julia. But for now, let's hit on a few points here, if we may. So, of course, we can slow down and role play between any of you guys like. But from right now, it looks like for this short interim, we have kind of two groups: individuals who have boarded an ATV to go back to Ishpeming to drink, drink and to acquire alcohol. Whilst the others are heading back to the Rhapsody to unload what they have and unload both what do you call it? NPCs and materials. I know. Wow. Just way to go, Inferno. So on the booze run, it's gonna be Lavin, Tom. No. Lavin and Ellie and Alicia. Is that it?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
Okay. All right. Okay. No problem. All right. So, able to get back to the Rhapsody without much issue. It's a few hours travel to the north, obviously. When you get there, Julia, when you mention that you're here at the Rhapsody, Julia grabs hold of Mim, and you can see her lower her head a little bit, and the head turns its head outside of the window of the Rhapsody. And then you hear Julia kind of give like a sudden surprised gasp, almost like a shuddering sound. And she says, kind of in a quavering voice, "And I thought this day couldn't get any more strange. That's yours?"
Al would, looking out the window, he would say, "Yes. I wish you were still home, safe. But since you are here, perhaps I can show you some amazing things you've never seen in Chi-Town."
"I want to see Tyrath," she says.
Tyrath is not someone that you can see him. He chooses when to see you.
"Then I guess we'll wait for him in the meantime."
Al would nod.
"Where did you get this?"
Space. You laugh, but Julia, I haven't lied to you before. And
"I'm not laughing because it's a lie," she says, "when you're talking to your brother, who says he's your brother, in the body of a DB. A ship from space seems the least preposterous of the two."
Elf, Julia. The body of an elf.
"That's what I said," she says. Like, innocently.
Al wouldn't say anything else other than that. He would say, the Rhapsody was a, well, I guess you could say payment for doing a job. And as far as I'm aware, there are none like her on the planet.
I see. And with that, you'll if you want, you probably take her through it. Is that fair enough to say?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. So after that's all done, after she's taken through the Rhapsody and shown everything like that, she doesn't talk very much. She doesn't have a lot of questions in regards to that. But narratively speaking, would Al and who plans on going back to Ishpeming as far as the player characters go?
I
I'm
definitely
going.
do. Yeah, I
Okay,
want to
great,
be there to tie up
great.
all the loose ends.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful. Patrick, are you of the same mind?
Yes.
Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful. So let's really step back here for a moment. All right. So you spoke of loose ends. So we have three of them, three chief loose ends, right? One scene involving the Office of Loss Prevention, one scene involving Denzel Gold, and one scene involving going to Z's meeting point, right? So Z's meeting point isn't until the next day at noon the next day. Denzel Gold you can visit at any point. And as far as the Office of Loss Prevention, they'd say they contact you later in the day. So I plan on doing just a very quick little scene in which Lavin and Ellie go back to that bar so they can... and of course Basilisk too. Basilisk is there, and Alicia. No, Basilisk isn't there. He's in the Rhapsody because he's dangerous. Okay, yeah. That's the whole purpose of the class. Sorry. Alicia, Ellie, and Lavin going to that bar. But after that, what would you guys like to do? Like, which loose end do you want to wrap up first?
Well, gold doesn't require a bunch of people to be there, so that seems like the obvious choice.
Sure.
Okay. That does make sense. In fact, you would be able, after you got yourself a stiff drink and purchased some, it would maybe make sense that you and Ellie and Alicia would actually go to Denzel Gold, and while he's telling you about that, the party is traveling back down to Ishpeming. Then you'd meet up and be able to continue on to the next loose end. Sound fair? Okay.
Yep.
Perfect. So then we're going to leave Patrick and Tom and Jalea and Al and the rest of the NPCs on the Rhapsody and on their way back as we change focus briefly towards Ellie and Lavin. So sure enough, you're back to that bar, that very, 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 very smoky bar that has a name but is not going to be mentioned right now. This place is known for having really amazing whiskeys, whiskey, and also like whiskey sours and any sort of mixed drinks involving that. They have other standard domestic beers and other liquors, but they have some pretty top shelf stuff. So the question is do you use Basilisk's credits to buy him a bottle or two of liquor?
Yeah, but I have a special request to the bartender there that perhaps they can fulfill.
All right, the bartender looks you kind of squarely in the eye, his big bristly beard that's almost like it's made out of what you clean dishes with, the steel wool.
Oh yeah.
It's so bristly and thick. Kind of gives that a scratch. He goes, "All right, request. What do you want?"
Can you make this place not smell as bad? Ellie has her hands over her face.
He goes, yeah, he says. And he reaches underneath of his bar and he takes out a clothespin. He says, "That'll be 2 credits.
Pay the man. Ellie's nudging him.
All right, I give him 2 credits.
Okay, and he hands over the laundry clip.
She clamps it on her nose and goes, "Ow."
Yeah, it's gonna pinch a bit, but now you won't smell nothing. See? Better.
I guess.
Now, how about you, tall guy?
Well, Mr. Practical.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. There's this guy who sent me in here to get him, air quotes, the strongest liquor that you can find, right?
All right.
Which is great and all, but the thing is, the guy damaged my armor. So I'm looking for something a little bit more than the strongest liquor you can find. You know what I mean? I'm looking for something that's like, I'd like to enact some revenge strong liquor. By the way, Ellie, shh.
What? Oh, is this? Okay, I got it. I'm gonna take this off because it hurts my nose.
Okay, well, no refunds, says Mr. Practical. As he
No,
looks
it's
over at Lavin.
mine. Ellie's like holding it to her chest. It's mine.
Yeah, knock yourself out. The practical man with the wiry beard looks over to Lavin. He says, "We're not talking about putting in like a drug or a poison or anything in there, are we? Are we having that discussion?"
No, I don't want to kill him or harm him or anything, but it'd be really good if by the end of the night he was puking his guts out, maybe.
Okay. Okay, he says, "I got something." And he says, I got good news. You can buy a lot of it for a few credits. And he brings out a barrel. Well, kind of a half of a barrel. It looks like a barrel that's been cut in half. Brings it up to the bar and he says, "This is the remnant bucket."
All right.
What the remnant bucket is? It sounds like you do by that laugh.
I
It?
can take a guess.
He says, "You know all those unfinished drinks around the bar? They all go in here."
Oh, that's really useful. That's so good. You're
Yeah,
not wasting anything.
Well, you know what that is? It's practical.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I guess.
Exactly. You want to buy the whole thing, you can fill up a few bottles with easily. You could probably fill up 7 bottles with it. And
you know what? Let's go with just 2 of those, and then say 1 or 2 of the good stuff. Whatever 100 creds will get me.
100 credits. Okay. I'll give you some. Okay. How about this? I'll give you 2 empty bottles. You'll have to fill up them yourself inside the barrels. That'll be like 2 credits. And as for the rest, and he's kind of looks behind him. He says, "Okay, we got Coral on Sour, and this one straight from what do they call it? Canadian Club 2.0. I don't know. It's from up north. Okay, here you go. 2 ryes
Perfect.
for you, and yeah,
Perfect. Ivan fills up the bottles and hands the man the cred stick.
sure.
And
As you fill up the bottles, they plunk, 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 and there's this horrible. Wait, do you do that with your cybernetic or non-cybernetic hand?
Well, I think that the cybernetic hand would be handling the spigot. It's in like a keg or something.
Yeah. Half
So
a keg.
the bottle would be held by the
Non-cybernetic.
his because he's left-handed, right? So his right
Sure.
hand's holding the bottle, left hand's doing the spigot.
Okay. So as you dip your hand into the bottle to fill it up, you do feel it's very cool to the touch, and you like feel something like greasy floating around in there. You feel like this urge to kind of wash your hand once it's out, but otherwise you get these things without much of an issue. So with that, shall we go on to Mr. Denzel Gould's abode?
Sure.
Sounds good.
Okay. All right. Before we do that, I don't want to forsake Tom or Al or Patrick. Is there anything you guys want to role play amongst yourselves or with an NPC or anything you'd like your characters to do, both on the journey up to the Rhapsody, on the Rhapsody itself, and on the way back to Ishpeming?
I'll play with Hannibal.
Okay. Well, he's very happy to see you. He's been cooped up for so long. He's nipping at your heels and barking a bunch and stuff like that. So, well, who do we lose? Squee?
I think
Squee.
Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully
He
he'll
should be
come on
back.
back soon. Yeah, sure. Okay. All right. Anything else? Anything of note for you, Patrick?
Well, shoot. The one man that I was the entire reason why he was there.
Was for Squee. Well, tell you what.
Yeah.
Let's just wait a moment or two, see if he comes back. It might be technical difficulties. If so, then you guys can have a nice little scene, and then we'll move on to Spiral and Criana.
Mhm.
If not, we'll move on to them, and then pop right back onto you as soon as Squee's available. I'll shoot him a quick message and see what's up, and then we'll continue on.
Cool. Oh, that's right. He has Skype on his phone. That nerd. I also had Skype on my phone before my phone was.
Exploded. It didn't explode.
Yeah.
Kind of exploded.
Kind
Ran
of
out of
exploded.
space.
Kind of no, it just if you try and call me when it's at 70% or below, it'll turn off.
What?
And it won't turn on again for a while unless I plug it into iTunes. If you send me a text while I'm trying to send a text, it'll also turn off.
Oh.
I need a new phone.
That sounds like an adventure.
It's yeah. Whenever I get a phone call, I'm like, "Why are they calling me? Why are they calling?"
Just fight me.
Okay. So Squee said that his internet is down. He's resetting the router. He just says go ahead and keep going. So that's what we'll do. So as soon as he comes back, then I'll switch to you back, Patrick. Is there anything else you'd have your character do otherwise? If not, no big deal.
Probably just organize a bit since he doesn't have
Okay.
too much time.
Yeah, it okay. All right, great. Okay. So to keep things along, I'm gonna move the scene ahead with Ellie and Alicia and Patrick. I mean, not Patrick. Ellie, Alicia, and Lavin, heading back to Denzel Gould's place. As you may or may not recall, his abode is in between two squat, medium, middle class apartment complexes, but he has his own home, a single story. When you were last there were solar panels strewn about the lawn. You picked up quite a few of those, and as you approach his home late in the afternoon, actually we're getting into early evening. This is around 5 o'clock or so. But as you approach, you see this woman. She seems to be in her 60s or so. She has gray hair, very long along by her back. She has these purple glasses on her nose, and she has her arms crossed, and she's standing in front of her little kind of apartment balcony and looking out towards Denzel Gould's home. And that's because although the solar panels are gone, it looks like there are 3 large, deep holes that are dominating what used to be his front yard. Luckily, the sidewalk or the walkway leading up to his front door hasn't been interfered with by these massive holes in the ground. But you can, especially Ellie, with your a very acute hearing, can hear this woman mutter and be like, "I can't believe what that man's doing. What does he think he's doing? This is ridiculous. Our property value is going to be going down."
Echo.
I'm assuming you're poking your head over top one of those holes and looking down.
Yeah.
You look down, and it seems pretty deep, but not so deep that you can't see the bottom of it. It looks like it goes maybe 12 feet down. So there's not really that much of an echo. It would hurt. Well, probably not would hurt you if we fell into it. But it'd be tricky to get out. But yeah, there's these strange holes. But do you continue on to the front of Mr. Gould's abode?
I do.
Okay.
Yep.
211?
And you said there's nothing in there, right? It's just a big hole.
Yeah, they're just friggin' holes in the ground. And assuming you knock on the door as you normally want to do.
Yep.
All right, and you hear the familiar gruff voice of Denzel Gould resounding on the end. Goes, who is it?
Hey, it's Lavin.
Planter Kid. You got my you've here to meet up. Okay, come here. And he throws open the door, and normally he's relatively well dressed, but right now he is just wearing a pair of jeans that look like they're a little too tight for his corpulent frame, and a white tank top. And it looks like he's been sweating considerably. And when he opens the door, he says, "Geothermic energy."
Hello.
Oh, I thought you were trying to catch some wildlife or something.
No. Solar panels are out. I got a Merc that came up from what used to be known as the old Canadian Empire. And he says the folks up there use something called geothermic energy. That they dig holes deep in the ground, and where the earth is warm, they hook up these special electrodes, and it powers all their shit. Who cares about the sun? I could do this day in, day out. So, geothermic. You just remember that. Next time anyone wants to pitch you new energy idea, remember what I told you, kid. That's free advice, and I don't normally give it to you. Okay, now come on in. Who's this? Are you recruiting some more? He asks as he points over to Alicia.
I'm Ellie. We met before.
Yeah, I know you.
Oh.
Don't worry about her. She's cool. She likes guns. You'll like her.
He goes, oh, yeah? And
right, Alicia?
Alicia gives just a curt nod, and she says, love him. He kind of gives it a smile and goes, you
Can
drink?
I go? Oh.
And she says, like a fish. He says, okay. She checks out. What's the matter there, Ellie? Wait, I thought your name was Nora.
Yeah, I'm gonna go climb in your holes. Bye. Ellie turns around and jumps down in the hole.
Denzel Gold shifts his eyes over to Lavin and Alicia. Alicia just gives a shrug and he says, she gonna be out all right out there?
She's just like that. What do you got?
If you look down in the hole, you'll see Ellie digging in the ground like a dog, like.
Oh my God. Okay. Alicia shrugs and she says, tell you what, get me a drink and I'll pop out here once in a while, make sure she's okay. Works for me, Denzel Gold says, and he opens up and he lets you back into his living room where he sits you down. And he said, Lavin down, Alicia down after getting you a few beers. And he says, okay, kid.
Well, I hope this is good because I just had the best paying and worst job of my life.
Best paying and worst job in your entire life. Well, how about an even better paying job that's going to be a cakewalk? Although he says, this is a bit of a kooky one.
Oh, well, can't be worse than the cloak and dagger shit we just went through. Kooky maybe I can handle, or at least it'd be a change of pace anyhow.
All right, well, yeah, there ain't no daggers and no amount of cloaks or any other apparel on this one. It's pretty straightforward. Like I said, just a little bizarre. And before I go into this, don't worry, as I normally do, I have validated the funds and I followed things up, and this is completely and utterly legitimate. Do you recall a man named Xerxes Landmount? He's a rich antiques collector here in Ishpeming. Out of character, you've heard a few things about this guy, mostly rumblings that he doesn't just deal in pre-Rifts antiques. He sometimes dabbles in magical items, which is very rare for folks over in Ishpeming, since the city is much more technologically based. But Denzel Gold kind of looks to you.
Yeah, I vaguely remember some kind of collector, right?
Yeah. Antiques, that's his official front. But I have it on good authority that not only does he acquire and buy items that have fucking mystical powers and shit like that, but rumors also say that he was a part of, or is a part of, some sort of weird secret organization that involves shit like that. Anyway, doesn't matter, because Xerxes Landmount is no more. He passed away, and he's given a last will and testament. What he wants is a group of, his words, not mine, bright-eyed, intrepid, and most importantly, open-minded adventurers to return an object to a specific location, bury the object, wait 3 days, and then apparently a great gift, better than 1,000 gold casks spilling with gems, once again, his words, not mine, will be revealed. Then, after the 3 days, you're supposed to return to Ishpeming and get paid. The job pays you 60,000 credits up front, and once it's complete, you will be the cool owner of 250,000 credits. Xerxes Landmount, kid, is a perfect example of a man who has so much money and lets it accumulate. Unlike me, when I get my funds, I like to invest it, as you might know, spread it around, make it work for me. Xerxes Landmount became an eccentric old man because he had way too much money and not enough sense rattling around in his head. Now, I know what your next question is, Lavin. What's the catch? Right?
Actually, that wasn't my next question.
Oh.
What happens to all the buckets of gold, or better than buckets of gold, whatever that appears?
He says he's not so clear on that.
Huh.
But
do I just leave it there?
Yeah. Or you take it with you. He just says some great treasure is going to be revealed. Once you accept the job, things will be a little bit clearer. I got a vid tape of his last will and testament, but this is kind of the preamble. But frankly, as far as the great treasure goes, you're supposed to just appreciate it or take it. You're not supposed to bring it back to Ishpeming and give it to me or give it to one of his kin or nothing like that. It's just the treasure's going to be revealed, and then by his words, you'll know what to expect, and then you come back and get paid. Like I said, kooky shit.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, what was the question you thought I was going to ask?
Well, you're going to ask what the catch was, because
Well, yeah.
I could hire any schmuck, or he could hire any schmuck that comes on by and buries some piece of junk and waits for 3 days.
Well,
Right?
I thought you were just looking out for me, Gold.
No, I am. That's why I came to you with this, right? You're one of my favorites. You're one of the golden kids, right? Anyway, problem is that where this object's supposed to be buried, it's right next to a ley line nexus. So that's no place for the initiative. No one knows what can crawl out of there, and these fucking blue lines, they teem with monsters and all sorts of shit. So you need someone who has a gun and knows how to use it, right?
I glance over at Alicia.
Yeah, familiar story. She says, we've handled ley lines and ley line nexuses in the past. Oh, well. Denzel Gold kind of looks over his beer between like Lavin and Alicia. You can see he's clearly trying to size up the relationship between you two. But he says, so, what do you say, kid? No cloak, no dagger, none of that shit. Well-paying. You go out, you find treasure, you come back, you get paid.
Well, probably going to regret this, but sure. The hell.
Great. Now with that official confirmation, I am now supposed to play you this. Just scooch over a little bit on the side there. I gotta get to the remote, he says as he gestures his hand for you to scooch over on the couch.
Yeah, I slide down.
Okay. All right. Denzel hefts his sweaty bulk there. He starts to play around with a few things. It goes, all right, which one did I play it in? Okay, there. He presses play, and the TV turns on. Big flat screen TV on the other side of the wall. And on it is the visage of a man who does look advanced in years. He's probably in his early 90s or so. He has just barely wisps of gray hair just above the ears, and his skin has not the best complexion. It's kind of spotted with brown blemishes, as aged sag skin sometimes gets. He looks directly in the camera, and it appears to be in the front of some sort of office. He's standing behind a beautiful maple desk, and you notice on a small little triangle on his desk, almost like it's a statue. But what's really strange is the sign that's on it. Alicia kind of raises her eyebrows a little bit at the video before he says anything. But behind him appears to be what appears to be like a globe, like a hollow globe, hollow projected globe, and a bunch of books behind him. and he says, in a faint, wheezy, gaspy voice, which I will not emulate because I'm sure that will be really annoying. But regardless, he says, if you are watching this, you have accepted my task. Now to tell you the important details. I have spent 50 years of my life accumulating objects of power and of interest, from small curios to great artifacts, and this has made me rich in both knowledge and in funds, in credits. But there was emptiness inside me, an emptiness that was not identified until exactly 7 days ago, when I was visited by a presence in a dream. It was the most beautiful song I have ever heard. The most warming presence washed over me, and I was implored to take an object in my collection and return it to an important destination, a destination that you must now go to. Once the coordinates will be provided. Once you have reached the destination, I want you to take a silver spade and dig exactly 2 feet into the ground and bury this object. You are to wait 3 days in full, and I have been promised in my dream that great riches, greater than 1,000 gold casks overflowing with gems, will be revealed to you. I wish I could see this myself, but you will have to be my proxy. All I know is that it is important. Throughout my entire life, I never believed in any sort of afterlife or soul or any such energy. But now, after my vision, I know that I will rest better in peace after I have passed on. Do this for me, and the rewards will be great, much greater than the credits that will be deposited into your account. And with that, the message ends. Unceremoniously, while this was being played, Denzel hoisted himself up from the couch, went into a side room, and he comes back with a giant hunk of rock. It looks like fossilized coal. He plunks it with a thump in front of you on his, what do you call it? Living room table.
Coffee table?
Yeah, coffee table. There we go. Why am I forgetting words of basic things today? I don't know. But he plunks it down thump, on his coffee table. He looks to you, Lavin, and he says, there you go. Have fun. Don't get eaten.
Oh, yeah, no cloak and dagger, but now it's magic. Wonderful.
No. Listen, if it's between you and me, he says, like I said before, the guy is kookier, nuttier than a fruitcake. Way too much money that he knows what to do with. It's clear whatever illness he had was affecting his brain. He had some vision, so this is a part of his last will and testament, or whatever he wants to call it, right? But both you and I, we're practical men. We know what this is. This is what we call a good old-fashioned cakewalk. You're going to bury it. I guarantee you nothing's probably going to happen. But you're going to come back after the 3 days. They'll pay you the credits, and you'll spend that money on something that'll make you happy. And that'll be the best thing that the late Xerxes Landmount would have ever done for us.
And I look over at Alicia and I'm thinking, yeah, I'm thinking it's more like Succubus is gonna eat my soul when I bury this thing. But we'll give it a shot.
Yeah, Alicia gives a bit of a smirk and she says, "Don't worry. I'm sure we'll be able to pull you from the clutches of a succubus. Whatever the hell those are. We'll have to ask Patrick.
All right. How heavy is this thing? I mean, I guess I'd pick it up. But
You pick it up with your non-cybernetic arm hand?
I'm assuming it's too heavy for that, so no.
No. Oh, okay. Well, you pick it up with your cybernetic hand, and you lift it up quite easily. It's dense. It's heavy. It has the weight of a similar size stone, but it's not unearthly weighty.
Okay. So do I come back to you, Gold, when this is all done?
Yeah, you come back to me. I have the money in a secure account. I'm only supposed to release it after the contract has been fulfilled.
How much was up front again?
60,000. I was wondering when you were going to ask about that. Hold on, he says, as he totters on back to the back room, comes back, gives you 60,000 credits.
All right.
Hold up. Along with the 60,000, I gotta get your signature or make your mark. He takes out a data pad and a small stencil-like object and hands it over to you. You know, official contract, the whole thing.
Out of character, I'm assuming literacy includes writing.
No, it does not. Wait, literacy? Yes. Yeah. Writing and literacy is the same thing. Yes.
Okay, I would sign.
Mm-hmm.
However I sign, I don't know.
Yeah, whatever you want. And he puts it up. He goes, okay, no problem. So, as that wraps up, I'm going to have a brief scene with the gray-haired lady and Mila outside.
I was about to say.
Because this needs to be addressed.
Yep.
And then after that, we're going to switch back to Patrick, because I believe Patrick has a roleplay he'd like to do with Al. Is that right?
Oh, let's see if I'm muted. No, I'm not good.
You're muted. We can't hear you.
Okay, and Squee is back. Good.
Yes.
But let's finish up everything in and around Denzel Gould's home. And so during this job that Denzel's debriefing both Alicia and Lavin on, nosy neighbor definitely saw Ellie jump down into the hole, and as she's digging frantically like a dog, the dark clay-like earth is just gripping underneath your fingernails and everything like that. And you hear footsteps coming towards you, and this horrible shrill voice, "Excuse me! Excuse me!"
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm busy. Ellie is like still digging as the woman's calling out to her.
And in the evening light, well, it's around 5 o'clock, so it's not that dark at all. But this woman, her gray hair, pokes her head over the hole's entrance. The strands of gray hair falling alongside her face, framing it. And she says, "Are you one of the diggers?"
I am a digger.
Why are you doing this? This is an absolute eyesore. How much are you being paid?
I'm not being paid at all. I'm doing this for, you know what I'm being paid in? And Ellie's going to try and the side of the mound. I don't know how well the gripping is for the dirt to Spider-Man her way up to the woman.
Well, I'll have you do a climbing check.
All right.
I would like you to make it harder by 20.
Sure.
It's not impossible because you can really dig your hands in there, but it is a pretty sheer thing. So yeah, Spider-Man away.
Okay, so that's plus 20. Got
yeah,
it.
Plus 20.
And boop.
Oh, yep. Oh, you succeed handily.
So as Ellie's talking, she Spider-Man's her way up. You know what I'm doing this? I'm doing this for the wealth of knowledge. Hi, I'm Ellie. How are you?
And she kind of looks at you aghast, never seeing a human being be able to climb like that before or so quickly. And she looks over to your extremely muddy hand, and she says, "You'll have to forgive me if I do not shake. My name is Penelope."
Hi, Penelope.
So if you're not being paid to do this, and this is just for knowledge, she looks around and she conspiratorially leans towards you and she whispers, "Is there something buried underground?"
I don't know. That's why I'm digging.
You don't know why you're digging. You're just digging.
No, there's a hole conveniently here.
Well,
Thought I
wait,
just.
wait. Oh, wait. You
What?
Mr. That gold fellow, he didn't have you do this?
Nah.
Does he know that you're doing this?
I don't know. Probably. Why?
Do you have to do this here?
Well, you don't Okay, listen, man. I'll have you know that you don't normally find giant holes willy-nilly. Sometimes when you see one, you just gotta start digging.
She looks at you warily.
By the way, I am crazy, so take what I say with a grain of salt.
You're crazy.
Ellie will run her fingers through her hair and try and find a metal probe to show her.
Oh, and then she looks like an electric shock has just went up her spine, and she immediately takes 7 steps back. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see. You're one of them.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Okay.
You may have
yeah, you should watch out. I could be dangerous. Ellie makes spooky fingers.
She trips over her feet a little bit and she runs immediately back into her apartment. Thankfully, cool. and as Lavin and Alicia exit with Denzel Gold wishing them luck, Lavin and Alicia would see the remnants of, not the remnants of the lady, but the last movements of the lady as she's just like, you see her kind of dolt into her door and the door slam behind her.
So that's what happens when you tell a person randomly. Good to know. Maybe shouldn't do that from now on, but good to know. Ellie's talking out loud to herself.
Yeah. Alicia's gonna be like, "You all right there? Ellie?"
Yeah, Ellie will be dusting off her hands and she'll look over. What that? She points at what Lavin's holding.
It's some overcooked chocolate.
Can I look at it and maybe eat it?
No, it's very sensitive. I have to fix it.
Okay, Ellie's gonna not listen and open her mouth and go over to it and try and take a bite.
You're gonna break your teeth. Alicia says, futilely warning Ellie.
It's really overcooked.
Why would they have overcooked chocolate? Why would they give you overcooked chocolate? Can I look at it? Can I touch it? Can I maybe try and eat it? Can I try it?
So...
Hey! Ellie's holding out her dirty hands. Let me look at it!
So, are you done terrifying the local?
You can't do this! You can't do this to me!
I like to think you're just walking down, you're just walking down the street now, and Ellie is bouncing next.
Hey, let me look at it. I want to see it.
You can touch it with one finger right here.
I want to touch it with all my grubby little fingers, Lavin.
What did you do to your hands?
No,
you can't touch it. You'll get your black on its black.
No, listen, but I was digging to try and find something like that, overcooked chocolate, and I didn't find nothing, so at least I can take this and say, look what I found, and everyone can be like, oh, good job, Ellie.
That's because you didn't have enough time to dig. We'll come back later, and you can dig more. And
I
play games to get away from my 2-year-old. What's going on? No, I'm just kidding.
This suddenly got a little too real for Spiral.
When Ellie wakes you up because she had a bad dream, then things are gonna go.
No, that's Patrick. She does that too.
Oh, of course. Sorry. Sorry. Is there anything else you guys wanted to role play with?
Yeah, I want to hold the damn hot chocolate.
Okay.
No, I would just keep on distracting and walking and.
No, Ellie's very focused. She's jumping around. Alicia, help me out. Let me hold the chocolate. Come on.
Okay. Alicia scratches the top of her blonde head. She looks at Lavin and she says,
Please. Please.
Tell you what, it looks hard. I doubt she's gonna break it. She's definitely not gonna be able to eat it. Just hand it over. He says, what if he gave it to you for 5 seconds to hold and then you promise to give it right back?
I promise.
This is a test, Ellie. This is a test to demonstrate whether or not you can be trusted. I will remember this forever.
Okay, 5 seconds.
Okay.
All right. Lavin hands it over.
Ellie's gonna bring it up to her eye. Is it chocolate? Should I roll for chocolate?
No, you don't roll for chocolate.
Should I roll for chocolate?
Roll a D100.
Okay.
I just
I'm
picture
not going
Criana
to
looking up
confirm
and
or
down.
deny this is a chocolate check, but go ahead.
I just picture Criana looking up and down her character sheet.
I'm looking down, up and down.
Yeah, I got a 40. So tell me what it is.
Okay, give me.
Tell me what it is. Is it chocolate?
No, but this is Ellie, right?
Yep.
So we're going to be using a new skill here, your spelunking skill, as reference. Because you're used to, in regards to that, you have knowledge of generally of caves of sedimentary rocks and other such on enclaves. And this is definitely not chocolate. It looks like something that almost would belong there, except it's like really like it's pockmarked, like it's like this really hardened old sedimentary rock, but its color is off. It definitely shouldn't be black. If it were a natural occurrence, maybe it would be more of a light beige or a dark brown. But clearly something has affected to it. And you can tell, looking so close and having excellent vision, you can tell this hasn't been inauthentically dyed or anything like that. It does seem natural, just peculiar. It feels, as you bring like your fingers along the contours of all the little pocks of this jagged piece of fossilized coal, it has millions of little pocks in it, but it's definitely not chocolate.
It's not chocolate. You lied to me. Ellie says, handing it back to Lavin.
Why? What is it? He told me it was chocolate.
No, it's like some kind of sedimentary rock, but it's too dark for that. I don't know. It's weird looking. Go ask Patrick. He'd know for sure. Okay, maybe not. Maybe he would need to do a skill check too. I don't know. Am I breaking some kind of wall? I think I'm breaking a wall.
Stop breaking walls, Ellie.
But anyway, it's not chocolate. I wouldn't eat it. It looks suspicious. But cool. Where did you find it?
I didn't find it. This is my job. I now have to guard this not chocolate with my life.
What? Why would he say it's chocolate? I don't understand. That's so mean to lie to someone like that. I don't understand why people lie. Do you, Lavin?
This is how mercenary life works sometimes, let me tell you.
Lavin,
So
Ellie will
is Al and Patrick coming? We're supposed to go meet them, right?
Ellie puts a hand on Lavin's shoulder and says, "You're better than that, Lavin."
Maybe not. So
let's go. I'm bored. Ellie marches off.
Okay, perfect. We'll have you guys reconvene with the rest of the group shortly. But in the meantime, now that Squee is back, Patrick, you had a scene. So where would this be? Would this be on the Rhapsody on the way up, on the Rhapsody itself, or on the Behemoth on its way back to Ishpeming?
Wait. Sorry. Just before that, can I ask Gold if he's got a silver spade? Just quick.
He doesn't.
Okay, that's all.
You had to buy yourself with that 60,000 credits.
Okay.
Okay.
Patrick would be waiting at a nearby area to hopefully catch Al on any sort of trip he might have.
Comings or goings? All right. What do you suggest there, Squee?
Is this on the Rhapsody or?
This would be Patrick would be doing this since the behemoth, once he started hearing the yelling.
Oh God, yeah. Okay. So maybe maybe at some point. Here's a good one. Maybe he left Jalea kind of like to look at the engine for a few minutes, like not leave her there, but step away for a little bit.
Sure.
Because I think she would probably find the engine somewhat impressive.
Yeah, definitely. She, just to kind of get a judge of her, she's still extremely cool, especially after the heated conversation that she has. But the coolness is overtaken by obvious wonder of this high piece of technology. For a moment, perhaps, hopefully, you might be thinking that she's kind of forgetting herself and forgetting her anger, and this is, at the very least, an interesting distraction.
Mm-hmm. So Patrick could like pull Al aside a little bit. And you knowing Al as long as you have, he does not look very good.
He would probably very sheepishly kind of wave you down while passing, and go, "Hey,
Hey, Patrick.
um, I don't know how to entirely say this, but if you need a hand, I can lend one."
Um, I'm not sure how to answer exactly. I could desperately use a hand, though I don't know what good it would do at the moment. I It's difficult, especially for someone that grew up in Chi-Town to accept this. But I am open to ideas.
Oh, it was more of a support or needing discussion of plan. We usually do this for more serious stuff. Well, this is pretty serious, I guess.
Oh, oh, you meant that you're there for me.
Yeah, yes.
I I appreciate that, Patrick. It's it's difficult.
That's. It seemed like it, so I stuck around.
Al looks at Patrick for a long time, and then he says, "You're a true friend, Patrick. Thank you."
Patrick looks like he's wondering about something for a moment. He gives a short nod. I guess if you'll need me, I can be in a spot that may be nearby.
Okay. I'm sure at some point Julia's probably going to talk to you, get to know you. I can ask you one thing. Try to remember that her beliefs have been ingrained in her since a small child. So don't judge her too harshly for them.
He like squints about it. Squints a little bit. I am a tad curious. Would it be still okay to ask her about her beliefs, or is that like, should I avoid that?
No, ask her. If Al kind of pauses for a second, if she is to understand us, then she must be willing to make the attempt. Ask any questions you want as long as you just respect what I said, if you could please. Understand that there won't be any one thing that you can say that'll just flick a switch and make her understand.
I see.
But Al like thinks about it for a second. You two might get along.
I am curious about a robot.
Mims? Oh, she's had Mims since she was very young. Father was able to get it for her, pulled some strings. I don't know how, but Mims, I mean, is her, I guess, like mobility assistance mech? But quite a bit more, given Julia's potential. But Mims, as crazy as it sounds, at this point, feels like an old friend. At her core, I guess she's not much more than a modified labor bot. A lot of modifications, actually.
I'm sure I'd get quite a few answers from her. She seems to be. I guess you'd probably both have some familiarity with it. He just stops a bit and goes like, "Don't tell me too much. I might need if we're going to talk. Would like something to talk about. I wouldn't know entirely too much to say after that."
Talk about technology, building things, creating things. I mean, look at her. Look at the way she's looking at the engine. You both have a lot in common. Just talk about what interests you.
Last time I talked about stuff with people who actually knew what they were talking about, I think I was being shunned. They glared at me when I was talking about robots.
One thing I can say about Julia, if you're not trying to convince her that magic is a good thing, I don't think she would ever shun you. She's just... He pauses, he looks around a bit. She's not like August.
Okay.
Al looks around again, just in case like August pops up somewhere.
No, I'm not that mean.
I know. And he says, just look, I don't think that we should hide who we are with her. Just be yourself. Either she'll accept it or she won't.
Patrick nods. He goes, "Good." I was hoping for that to be my plan of action. I was more asking if I should change myself in any way.
No. You know, you've known me a long time. I like to use deception. I think it's a great tool, but not with my sister. I haven't before, and I don't plan on starting now. So just let's all be ourselves.
Patrick nods. I guess I'll look forward to that.
Oh god, poor Patrick. Al would be quiet for a time, and then he would say, like looking at Julia, he'd say, "Patrick, you don't think I've been corrupted, do you? I mean, you don't think that I'm..."
If that ghost took control of you, I think we would actually sense it by now.
I mean, I don't know what I mean. Thank you, Patrick.
I can double check if you'd like.
No, that's quite all right. Thank you.
Okay.
I should probably go make sure Julia's not pulling out wires or something.
She's not.
She wouldn't.
No, yeah, Al's just trying to make an excuse.
Okay.
Things got awkward.
Yay.
Thanks,
yay,
Patrick.
awkward. Okay, so we're good to end that scene there?
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. So, I wouldn't mind clipping things along a little bit. Having the next scene with you guys, all you player characters, meet back up in Ishpeming past the security gate, so you guys can both confer with yourselves. And spoiler alert: at that time, you'll also get a radio signal in when to meet with the Office of Loss Prevention as well.
Boy, that's awfully convenient.
Wow.
I know. Well, it said it would be in the evening, and by the time they get back, it's going to be around 7 o'clock. And by the time you finish off with Denzel Gold and whatnot, you'd have to kill an hour or two, but it's not that big of a deal.
Inferno.
Mm-hmm.
2 questions. One that I've actually been wondering about, and it might come up at any time. Real quick, because we've never discussed it. How did Julia learn to read? Was it something that Al or her father taught her, or was it something she may have learned with permission, or?
With permission. That's cute. Yeah, no. Not in the coalition state. Yeah, can you just open up a special school just for her? Yeah, no. People only need to learn how to read because if it's an important tool. High military officers like your father, however, would know how to read. Your mother actually didn't know how to read. Probably not, but she would have been taught by her dad.
Okay, and then such a teaching would have been kind of a secret.
He would have taught you how to read too, Al.
Right. But it's safe to say that he, quote unquote, should not have done such a thing, but did.
It was in politics. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's better to ask forgiveness than to ask permission. And if you have enough influence, you can convince other people to be like, maybe that's not that big of a deal. And they'll probably go into officer training as well. So in the end, they'll have a heads up, start up.
All right, cool. No, that answers my question. Oh, and then the other one would be, is Jalea going to be coming with us on all this stuff, or?
That's up to you. She would prefer to stay on the Rhapsody because Basilisk is staying on the Rhapsody. She has a lot to sink in, and she would like some time to do so and to explore the ship a little bit more because she's still in a little bit of wonder of it. So for now, she'd be most comfortable on the Rhapsody, but if you insist that she comes along...
No.
No?
Yeah, okay. I think Al would be more comfortable having some space, too, after that conversation.
Yeah, probably. Okay, yeah, all right. Definitely got the same vibe there. Okay. So if it's okay by you guys, I'll narratively skip forward a few hours with Tom and Patrick and Al returning back on the Behemoth. Is there any other NPC that you would really like to accompany you, or are you okay with leaving the majority of them on the Rhapsody for them to get resettled in?
I'm okay with leaving most of them on the Rhapsody if that's okay.
Yeah.
Yes, same here.
Okay. So on your way back to Ishpeming, when you're about half an hour outside of the city itself, and for Lavin and Ellie, well, mostly Lavin because he's the one who has his radio on, you'll get this about 40 minutes or so after dealing with Denzel Gold. A simple message on the encrypted radio signal of the Loss Prevention Office, which says, 8 o'clock, sharp, headquarters, Northern Gun, 24th floor. Please be prompt. And with that, it'll shut off. Using either what you agreed upon in the past or radioing each other, you're able to find a simple meeting ground. Would you guys want to meet inside a restaurant or a diner? Would you like to meet at a park just outside the southern security zone? Where would you all like to kind of confer and touch base with each other?
Restaurant, let's get some food.
Sure. Okay. How about the Mall of Michigan, a restaurant there?
Oh, there are plenty of restaurants in the Mall of Michigan.
I want a kid's meal.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that, actually. There is I might have mentioned this very quickly before because I think you got some food for those street rat kids before. But give me a moment. Let me just look up the name real quick in my notesy notes. Game sessions, future sessions, Ishpeming guide. There it is.
The Prince of Patties.
Areas of interest. No. It's not called that. It is not Uncle Ed's, not the old rail station, hover train, not Club Crimson, not the Robodome. There we go. Trigger Quick Burgers and Fries.
Yeah.
It's actually an entire fast food franchise that has spread throughout the the Kingdom of Ishpeming. It even has a handful of locations in other areas as well. But yeah, they serve a few different types of burgers and fries, fish sandwiches and fries, chicken sandwiches and fries, chicken strips and fries, chicken salad, soft drinks, milkshakes, and a few desserts, and Trigger Quick's famous Bull's Eye onion rings. The prices are dirt cheap. An average meal costs less than 5 credits, but the quality is very good and very fast. They have even, if you can believe this, have introduced something called a drive-through window in which you can bring
Shut
your
up.
vehicle around and they'll give you the food and you don't even have to enter the restaurant.
Will they serve you on a jetpack?
No jetpacks.
There's
Damn
a
it.
sign that says no
There's a
walk
big
ups
sign
allowed.
up front that has a guy on a jetpack with an X across it.
Now, if only they had some sort of like person that could, I don't know, give our food in the parking lot. Like maybe they had like wheels on their feet or something like that.
Yeah, like a wheelie.
Maybe next generation, Patrick.
Maybe. Anyway, so you guys all grab yourself some burgers. Is there any particular food you guys
Milkshake,
wanted to get for your character?
milkshake.
Milkshake for Valley. Vanilla. They got vanilla, chocolate,
Yes.
strawberry swirl,
Yes.
and banana.
I want it all mixed together.
Oh, they'll give you each separately,
And I'll mix
they'll
it
give you-
myself.
They'll give you a trigger jumbo cup for you to put it into if you want, but
Yeah,
they're not
yeah.
going to mix it for you.
I'll
for
do it.
combo.
That's okay.
So you guys know the term stress eating?
Yes.
Al personifies this at the moment.
So you buy like 3 orders.
A lot. Yes.
They're good. A little greasy, but real good.
Yeah.
Okay, so halfway through, Tom's gonna finish his burger and all that, and Al is still eating without talking.
Mm-hmm.
Tom's gonna slide his hand over Al's hand and go, "I think you have a problem. Are you okay?"
Al stops mid sandwich, looks at Tom, and starts eating again.
No. Tom is right. I think you do have a problem, and personally, I would really like to help you out with that problem.
I was gonna say Ellie's like her mouth is just
By
nah.
the way, Ellie, your drink tastes like chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, and banana.
Yes, delicious.
Al swallows, and he very calmly looks at Lavin and says, "We're getting to know each other, but we're not on a level yet where you can take my food right now."
But
can I?
Yeah, Ellie, I'm guessing, has already done so.
Ellie has her she slid her face across the table and just kind of snaked her way over to your food and just her head's still laying on the table, just nom nom nom.
Al would see that and hear Tom, and I don't know, maybe it's the stress he's going through, maybe it's the really bad day he's having, but he just starts laughing. And it becomes it starts as a small type of laugh and then becomes a very full-bodied, almost kind of hold my sides laugh.
Ellie stops and looks up at him, her mouth just kind of half open with food hanging out.
Why do I go outside with you people?
Maybe I should have actually checked for possession.
Lavin looks at his burger closer.
Oh, ow, ow! Lavin, show Patrick the chocolate. See if he knows. I mean, the not chocolate. Do we have
Let's
it?
let's
Do you have it in
do
your
that
pocket?
someplace a little more less inconspicuous.
What?
Yeah,
This
you
is
guys are getting some weird
inconspicuous.
looks after the frantic laugh.
A
there
child
on
starts
part.
crying in the corner.
Oh no, they're not crying.
Mom, the
crying.
bird elf is laughing.
The pointy-eared man is brain broken. Anywho, okay. If that wraps up that scene, do you guys want to in or out of character? Maybe someplace a little bit less. Sorry, more conspicuous. No, less conspicuous? Yeah, conspicuous means you're conspicuous. Okay. And a place less conspicuous for Lavin to debrief on the rock situation and the contract that he took. We can do this out of character too if you guys want to save time, obviously. But if you want to have fun talking in character, I don't want to force you.
I'm fine either way. I would just need a quick recap.
Yes, because you came in halfway through on that.
Mm-hmm. I came in with and you'll need a silver spade.
Oh, that would do it.
Well, Lavin would be concerned that these people have no motivation to help him, so why even bother? Like, I don't think I would mention it for the time being, unless somebody else.
Ellie, hello.
Oh,
yeah, Ellie just said, "Show them you're not chocolate."
Right.
And you
okay.
know how persistent she is.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess we're someplace less conspicuous then. Then the recap is got some crazy stone from some crazy guy who has a crazy request to go out to a location, a coordinate, bury the stone with the silver spade 2 feet deep for 3 days, and then dig it up, right? Dig it up?
No, just wait. And then apparently
just wait, okay.
Better than 1,000, whatever, yeah.
And then I'm supposed to get, or there's supposed to appear the greatest treasure, more valuable than on a barrel of gold, and then I get paid. Now let me tell me that's not the craziest thing you ever heard in your life.
Oh, Ellie's like, now she knows the inner details of the situation.
Al looks at him straight face. That is not the craziest thing I have ever heard.
Yeah,
I don't know if I believe it, but
Alan Patrick.
Well, it's a little concerning that because the guy played this tape and he said like 7 days before he died or before he made the tape, like he encountered some kind of warmth or some great entity or feeling or something that compelled him to do all this stuff, which to me just says all kinds of bad news. But
well, so let me get this straight. You simply go to a location, do what you said, and then you're done?
Yep. Gotta wait 3 days. It's near a ley line, so that's
there we go.
Oh, yay! Let's go! This is gonna be fun.
Al says, my schedule's clear.
Yeah,
Patrick is like slightly agaped his mouth.
Ellie's like gritting, like looking at Patrick, like yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so Patrick, this crazy guy, he collected all kinds of magic items. That was like his deal. He ran a shop. So this is one of the things that he, I guess, collected.
I guess Alicia's still here because she didn't leave on the Rhapsody. She went with you. And she says, yeah, there was something on that tape that I recognized. That was back a while ago. But there was that symbol. It was like a triangle with a circle in it. It's on your backpack. When you were part of that group. What was
House
it?
the Golden Places.
Yeah, that. I think it was. She says, I'm not 100% sure. Do you have that symbol nearby on you, Patrick?
Yeah, I thought it might be helpful in... No, I can't. That's right. I remember specifically I cannot bring it into the city because
The
it is
backpack?
a...
No.
Yeah.
No. She says, "Well, when we get back, show it to me, and I'll hopefully I'll remember it right, and I'll let you know for sure." But it did seem familiar.
Most of that information does add up. Minus... Can I see the thing that we're supposed to bury?
Yeah,
Donk.
Patrick, it's not chocolate, but look at the little
The
marks.
I'm assuming the thunk is
Putting it on the
Lavin
table
handing
or
it out.
whatever.
Oh yeah, okay.
Patrick, he's gonna look at it for a bit. Breathe a bit deeply, and then he's gonna blink a few times, and then like really take a close look at this particular thing.
Okay. Do you touch it all, or you just examine it?
You would probably touch it eventually.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. You examine. I'd like you to roll me a D100, please. D100, please. Give me just 2 seconds. You got 37. All right, let me just confer something real quick, guys.
Okay.
Okay. It appears very similar to when I mentioned it with Ellie. It appears to be some sort of sedimentary rock, some sort of fossilized substance that its color is peculiar. And when you touch it, you feel a spark of mystic energy. Since you are a spellcaster, you're sensitive to these things. It's strange. You always had the impression that PPE batteries were stones, magically enchanted gems. This kind of acts like a PPE battery, except that it's a one-way thing. You can channel your PPE energy, your mystical energy into it, but something blocks you pulling it out again. You also get this really strange impression that there's, I don't know, call it an intuition maybe, but it's like this isn't its true self, or there's something hidden inside of it, or I don't know, you can kind of just feel this spark.
Mm-hmm. I was going to follow up this particular skilled examination, whatever my brain connected with a combination of seed, aura, and sense magic.
Okay. Sense magic. Yes. Give me a moment.
Okay.
Because I just have to look up both those spells, because it outlines specifically, what I can sense, what I can't, to help you as a guide. So give me just 2 shakes of a little tail. So which one do you want to do first?
I think sea aura is probably going to be more fruitful than the other one.
Okay, sea aura. It says estimate the general level of experience. What this is I guess you could say its intrinsic age or power. It's high. The presence of magic, yes. The presence of psychic abilities, no. High or low base PPE, it's hard to say. You can estimate that it's high, but since you cannot draw from it, you don't know for certain. But it has the aura of something that has high PPE within it. You don't sense the presence of any sort of possessing entity within it. Thankfully, you've encountered one before.
Mhm.
It doesn't have the presence of an unusual aberration either. In fact, it's almost the opposite. Instead of sensing the presence of an unusual aberration, despite the look of it, it seems to have the presence of an unusual purity. Perhaps even supernatural.
Then I believe he would probably follow it up with sense magic.
Okay, let me just quickly check that too.
I think that's literally just kind of like you get to sense if magic is happening.
I'm pretty sure.
Sadly.
But let's just double check. Yep, that's exactly what it is. And the answer is yes.
Wow.
No, it
Man,
can be
Lee
handy in
had
other situations.
Lee had that. I remember when he sensed magic like a
Mhm.
thing like a day ago. That was pretty cool. Mm.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah. Uh, after his odd incantations and hand movements, and a bit of studying after that, Patrick would then lean back slightly and go, well, from what I can actually deter from my initial scans, it doesn't seem to be of a high negative energy. So I doubt that we are going to be doing anything like summoning a greater demon or something like that.
Well, that's good to hear.
See, I told you Patrick would know what's up.
But I am almost positive that this is part alive.
Alive?
Yeah, I had that feeling.
Well, there's one thing that I know in the magical field. You can't draw magic from something that has a will, a mind, a soul. I can't draw any magic into this. From this, excuse me. But I can put some in. But I believe mine would be fruitless in comparison to a ley line or even nexus, if that's what we're going to.
Oh, so we're like planting a seed.
Yes.
Yeah, that doesn't make me feel any better.
That makes me feel loads better. Oh, this is going to be fun and exciting. Aren't you guys so excited?
Well, truth be told, the only other thing that we wanted to do was to go off to the East Coast, and I'd rather not do that with my sister in tow. But since she wants to stick around until she determines whether or not I'm, well, whatever, then maybe a side trip is a good idea.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, we don't necessarily have to be directly involved. There's many ways we can help out.
Yeah. I agree.
Excellent. Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, Al's done.
Okay, good. And we good to wrap up, or is there anything you guys want to discuss?
I had one more question. Damn it, slipped my mind now.
That's okay.
Oh well.
Well, if you remember it, feel free to ask, and I can answer it when it comes up. Anything else you guys want to discuss in or out of character? Because the next scene in mind, you guys can meet up with the Office of Loss Prevention.
Can we hide the giant rock so they don't see it? Like put it in the locked car, or I don't know.
What you could do? You could leave it with Alicia, and she'll wait with it outside, and you guys can just enter the building without her.
Sure.
That's an idea. So she would like technically hide it on her person, and she just wouldn't be anywhere near anyone. She would just hang out. Mm-hmm.
They confiscated our half bomb, so I don't want them to confiscate our.
I know. And I thought about it afterwards. I could have just kept the chemicals, which are probably the hardest to gain component. Well, no, I'd still have to get out of town with crazy bomb chemicals.
Yeah, a corrosive and an acid.
Hey, one of those in your backpack. Farming tools.
Plus,
Farming
they were large tubs, anyways, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, they're big.
I'm a doctor.
Yeah,
I'm a doctor. I need these.
We're going on a sick bender.
Emphasis on the sick. Okay. All right. So honestly, there's no need to go through the details of this because you've been to this building a few times before. Once again, you approach the Northern Gun headquarters, this big, towering, shining glass beacon down the center of the downtown area. The setting sun is reflecting off the multitude of floors, over 30. You go into the elevator, check in at the front desk, go through initial security, and then secondary security. And once again, you find yourself in a familiar conference room, one that is near the center of the floor, which is fully encased in a single, well, not single, but 4 sides of glass that is tinted with pigmentation at the flick of a button. Once again, you find yourself in the presence of 3 individuals. An individual that you recognize quite well, Victoria Sandler, as long as Lionel Lawrence, also known as the Lion, the chief loss prevention officer, and finally Lucas Buck, the vice president of the Northern Gun himself. Victoria Sandler has a small smile on her face, a small professional smile when she sees you. Lucas Buck is grinning this big gleaming smile. And Lionel Lawrence has, behind his thick glasses and his long blonde hair, it appears to keep his composure and gives you a frank greeting, but nothing significant. They sit you down. They encourage you all to have a seat. And after clearing the throat, Lionel Lawrence speaks in his deep, resolute tone. Congratulations are certainly in order. We believe, from now, although it is optimistic and preliminary, that law and order in the city of Ishiming will no longer be hampered by the Hell Riders, and if preliminary reports are to be correct, the black market as well. Both are extremely silent. We're going to continue to probe informants, but that's not why we brought you here. First, before we get too far into ourselves, there's the issue of what happened this morning. When you talked with Miss Sandler, there was an incident, a violent incident involving an explosive device at a warehouse in the south section of the city. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Please tell us what you learned. Tell us what happened.
We got set up.
Set up. You know by whom?
If I was to guess, I'd say the Hell Riders, but I don't know for sure.
Set up how? Please elaborate. And he kind of looks to each of you.
Well,
Anybody else?
as Sandler Victoria might have told you, our contact intercepted a number of communications that led us to believe that the Hell Riders were all reconvening at this one warehouse in this one district, to gather and, well, figure out what to do next. We went to this warehouse. There was a lot of innocent people there. and a few Hell Riders that we were able to identify, but they unfortunately ended up losing their lives. And in the meantime, one of our members was able to see a vision of a bomb that was somewhere in the vicinity of the warehouse. We found said bomb, we defused it, and we got rid of the chemicals because this bomb was so large it would have been able to take out 9 square city blocks.
I see. A high estimation. He leans back and gives a thoughtful nod to Victoria Sandler. And she says, "We're very glad and very fortunate that you're able to disarm this weapon. This trap, this attempt to kill innocent lives, we've been running into this all day."
Well,
Did we lose Inferno?
did we lose Inferno?
It sounds like it.
Yeah.
Oh no.
We just misplaced him for the time being.
Uh,
I thought that
we
was like
at the same time this
I thought
happened.
it was a really long dramatic pause.
yeah, like I thought it was just like this kind of like upset stare.
Hello?
Hi, welcome
Okay,
back.
okay.
The last
Well,
thing that we
yeah,
heard,
Yeah, let me. Yeah.
the last thing we heard was we have been running into this thing all day.
Oh, great, wonderful. Let me continue.
Mhm.
We've been running into problems like this all day involving trying to hunt down the Grey Ghost. Many of our operatives were sent down dead ends or in situations where civilians or innocent parties were compromised and forced to make a difficult choice. However, this didn't save him, thanks to the intelligence that was supplied by your informant. And we were able to, as I mentioned before, capture 3 individuals after the preliminary rounds of interviews. It's now down to 2. That very likely is this Joseph Gray fellow. Thank you for your assistance in regards to this. And we did run a background check on the 3 bodies that were found at that location, and they all have extensive criminal backgrounds. So, innocent blood, hard workers, families, mothers, were not interfered with. That creates this congratulations even more important. This reinforces our congratulations to your team. And the line would continue. Thanks to you, you managed to both destroy the Hell Rider supply chain, Chief Communications, and thanks to your informant, provided valuable intel that led to the arrest of Jester Keaton, Squinting Rel, and Joseph Gray. I have a proposition now that this is all finished and we're wrapping things up, so to speak. I would like Miss Sandler to accompany you to meet with this informant, to offer personal congratulations, and to be frank, we'd like to offer them a lucrative job here with the Northern Gun. Would you be able to arrange such a meeting?
And this is where we slip out of character for
Yeah.
now. Woo!
Okay.
Alright.
Well, we're gonna tell him it's Basilisk, and why don't we just say, yeah, look, it's Basilisk. I don't think he's gonna want to work with you guys, especially since you have been pegging him for black market. He just doesn't seem very interested. Or we could even say he's coming with us.
We could say that.
Be prepared for the barrage of questions because these
If-
guys don't like to leave it be.
Yeah, if you
Like,
want,
where
I
did
can
he get the
explain.
info from and blah, blah, blah.
We don't know.
That's why he's the informant.
Yeah. If we knew where he got the info from, we would just cut
You
out the
wouldn't
middleman.
need him.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, we can literally kind of play the blind on this one.
Yeah. If you want, I can go with the explanations. I just want to make sure that everybody's okay with us going forward with the basilisk.
I am fine with that, and I think actually saying, you know what, he's decided to travel with us, so staying in contact with us will, in a roundabout way, stay in contact with him.
Do we also want to mention that there is a connection between him and Jalea?
No, let's keep that off the table. I was even thinking about, they have a picture of Jalea associated with the black market, and I was like, oh, who cares? She's on our ship. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true.
Let's just leave that out for now.
Yeah. Okay. So we're all good. Just final call.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea to go that way.
Criana, you good?
Oh yeah, I don't care. We're good.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, then. All right. Tom will say that could potentially be arranged, but there are a couple of things that we will need to go over first. First
Go
off,
on, says the lion.
Can you bring up the web that you had made of the black market and their associates?
The lion nods to Victoria Sandler, who slides open the center glass table on which the screen is revealed after pushing a few buttons. Sure enough, and inputting a password or two. Sure enough, the breakdown of the black market is brought towards your screens once again. And heck, for the sake of this, I will swing it on by. Once I get to the right screen. No, I didn't delete it. There we go.
Okay. So then Tom will bring up all of this and say, all right, so from the beginning you guys already know that we were trying to get in touch with Basilisk, this guy. We never met him. We weren't able to actually identify him until a couple of days in. He is our contact.
He is your informant.
Yes.
He collected this data?
Yes. Don't know how. Don't know where he got it. But he seems to be really good with radio communications, encryptions, and was able to get us this data.
Pause for a moment. And for the first time since you've ever been face-to-face with him, the lion widens his eyes in surprise. He pauses for a moment. He looks over to Victoria Sandler. He says, that would explain why he came out of nowhere. Follow up on possible government contacts. If he's that skilled, then perhaps he already has a job.
This is the other thing that I was going to mention. He, after everything was said and done with the bomb, asked to come with us.
Any particular reason why?
Well, he seems to like working with us for some strange reason.
So, theoretically speaking, if in the future we were looking for his services, we would approach you and we would get all of you in one tidy bundle?
Exactly.
I see. Well then, we'll follow up a little bit here, but if this is to be true, and I don't see any reason why it shouldn't, we will reevaluate the criminal understandings of this Mr. Basilisk and ensure that he doesn't have any problems with the state of Ishbeming again. Right now, the Loss Prevention's office is still in the process of analyzing the current data that we have accumulated and continuing our interrogations with these three ringleaders of the Hell Riders. But we are confident that we will be able to identify who their supplier and who the great power was behind all of this. This, however, will require more long-term intelligent work and something that requires a greater commitment than what was initially agreed to you. So with that, I will pass this off to Mr. Buck. And with that, Lucas Buck, who has still been smiling through this entire thing, says, "My friends, I would like to let you know that the damaged bridge that came between yourselves and the Northern Gun has not just been repaired, but reinforced. And I'm proud to say that the contract that I signed with Miss Wedgwood, with Zoe, has now begun. And it is the start of a long and hopefully very profitable business relationship when it comes to acquiring new technologies or whatever else you might find in your, well, adventures, your travels. As a thank you for assisting us with this Hellrider problem and doing such a fine job, and as a way to start the right foot forward, we are very willing to gift your group with a working prototype of your choosing. It's my understanding that a few months back we gave you passes to prototype previews. Did you attend that event?
Yeah, we did. In fact, we purchased a few of the bigger Eclipse.
Our
things.
NG Power Packs.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I'm sure they have shown to be both extremely reliable and helpful. Now, it is not the Northern Gun Power Packs I wish to speak to you about. It's the two items that were featured there. We now, at this point, have working prototypes and several redundant ones in case. Although this is several years out from development, we believe you can be trusted with our technology and deserve a reward and the absolute best that the Northern Gun has to offer when you go out on your future adventures. Think of this as both a gift and an investment in our part. We want to ensure you have the best firepower and mobility. So, it is up to you. You may either have the NG X16 Midas power armor or the NG 488 Cobra Turbo Combat Hover Cycle, either of which will be found in a secure container outside the south security checkpoint of this city.
Tom is just completely speechless.
This is definitely not up to my character.
No? What? Patrick doesn't want the power armor?
It's not their purview.
Right. No, absolutely. Okay. I goddamn love that hover cycle, but I am more than willing to step aside so someone can have some pretty nifty power armor.
Okay, I'll tell you what.
I don't think I can use either of those, so I don't care.
The Midas power armor is fantastic. It is amazing. It was one of the power armors that I slung at Inferno for maybe I might be interested in that. But if you want to go with the hover cycle, go for it.
Okay, I'm hearing it both.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hey.
So you guys can roll for it. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Piph.
As a breaking point, I will mention we have lots of power armors. We have 0 hovercrafts, especially with combat capabilities.
Yeah, we
Yes.
have one hover cycle. Al has a hover cycle that has very little in terms of combat capabilities.
That is also what I was thinking.
Fine rolling for it.
Go with the hover
I'm
cycle.
fine either way. Okay. Oh man. So.
I mean, the Midas is super cool.
Don't worry, there'll be plenty of opportunities.
This is the thing that Al test drove, right?
Yep.
Oh, yes.
All right. So Al has been somewhat distracted and very quiet this entire meeting.
Uh-huh.
This caught his attention.
Sure.
This caught his attention quite nicely, and he doesn't say anything, but he is just staring at the picture.
And Lucas Buck gives a big smile and he says, I can see you're taken aback. We can give you a few moments to confer what you would prefer. Unfortunately, we don't have the resources to give you both, obviously. we do have many irons in the fire, so to speak. But I can see by your reactions this is very suitable.
Oh, definitely.
Does the
Yeah.
power armor come with the halberd?
Yep.
Yes.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. And Miss Sandler did pay you your credits as well. We're going to throw in a 50,000 credit bonus for you yourself personally, Lavin, in regards to this. Thanks to this whole bomb incident, we believe the perk is necessary.
Okay.
So I'm assuming you let the Northern Gun know that you'll take the hover cycle?
Yeah. After a few minutes of
conferring.
conversing. Yeah.
I think like Al, like almost sheepishly, would be like, I mean, it's nice, but maybe we could get the hover cycle.
Okay. Sure. That's fine. You and I are gonna have a talk after this, but yeah.
Oh no, that's okay. Then you just take the power armor. That's
No.
fine.
I was just gonna like rip you a bit, just give you some shit. Just never mind. Take the hover cycle.
Al just looks a little deflated.
Oh come on.
Oh my god!
I know. I'm sorry.
Decide out of
Yeah,
character.
I know, out of character, but I mean, come on. This is like the worst day to rib Al. He's just in a horrible place right now.
Ellie's gonna stand up. We will take the hover cycle. Thank you very much. See, was that
and-
so hard?
Yeah. See. It's not
Well, thank you. Wonderful. Well, once again, here, please let me shake your hands. Lucas Buck says, giving you each a firm handshake. He says, with that, we'll allow you to go on with your day. Obviously, if you need to contact us for whatever reason, we know how to reach out to you. But we always have a channel here at the Northern Gun. Just merely identify yourselves, and we will come to your response. Which does bring it to me to a question. Do you plan on being on Inishbaming much longer, or do you have bigger and brighter horizons out for you in the future?
I believe we're planning on leaving very soon.
yeah,
I
within
see.
the next day or so.
I see. Hopefully not straying too far from our lovely city.
No, I'm sure that we will never be more than a few days away.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, I wish you the best of luck and the best of fortune. Be safe. It is an extremely dangerous world out there, which is, well, what keeps us in business, I suppose. But I'd rather be poor and peaceful than rich and chaotic. But such is the world we live in, right?
Right.
Right. Well, thank you. And with that, the meeting will wrap up. You once again finish off with everyone else. Victoria Sandler does, before they depart, she does take Lavin aside and she says, I'm really glad that my intuition was right. You are the perfect person for that assignment. You're going to have a glowing bit of recommendation in case you ever need future work. Know that, Lavin.
Perfect.
And if you have any problems with any sort of contracts and you need a little assistance, you let me know. I'll pull some strings for you.
Doubly perfect.
Good. And with that, we will wrap up that scene.
I have
So-
a question real quick.
Sure.
Before everybody leaves and all of that, Tom will
Mhm.
approach Victoria Sandler and go, so remember my camera? Do you guys...
Oh! Yes, you can collect it at the front security, secondary security.
Sweet.
They'll hand it right over to you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
And that's it.
Excellent. So with that loose end tied up, would you guys like to... the only other loose end that we discussed this session was meeting up with Z and on the next day. Is that something that you guys still be interested in doing?
Yes. There is
Wonderful.
one thing quickly I would like to do that Lavin might actually be interested in doing with Al.
Sure.
Letting starts with the Z.
Zenthia.
Cynthia know it's safe to go home.
Ooh. Okie dokie, that'll be nice.
And he would also like to go look for a guitar, because damn it, he's owed Tom a guitar for a very long time.
You can find a guitar at the Mall of Michigan.
Easy.
250
Perfect.
credits.
Awesome.
Boom.
I will. Yay! I'll mark it off.
Okay. As for where Zenthia is staying, because Lavin did check up with her before, and he told her to keep the pen and everything like that. So Lavin knows exactly where she lives. We can do a small scene with that, if that's okay by you guys showing up there in the evening.
Sure.
Sure.
Lavin, would you be coming with?
He naturally knows
Actually,
where she lives.
well,
I guess Al, he would.
don't
tell
I
her.
have to get back to damn it, Basilisk? Or is that the night after?
He said within 36 hours, so you got plenty of time.
Oh, okay. Then,
And you
yeah,
know
sure.
what? For his quest, I'm sure you can be a couple hours late.
Can't be late with alcohol.
Yeah, good point. Good point. Especially the quality shit that you brought. Okay. Small scene then. Who else wants to come with Lavin and Al? You
I'll
don't have
go.
to. Just open. Okay. All right. Um.
Yes.
Okay, Patrick too. Okay. Well, we'll just throw in everybody here. Why not? So, Zenthia, her sister's place, is in the northern side of the city, far away from the apartment building that she lived before. It's a series of small, quaint, single-story buildings, which all look like they have been built probably about 20 years ago or so. So they're not necessarily run down, but the architecture, it definitely looks aged compared to the surroundings. Small, quaint, simple garden up at the front of a kind of a pink stuccoed house with this brown roof and white trimming. You knock on the door, and a slightly younger elfin woman with dark hair and dark green eyes. Just give me a moment. Someone just blooped something. Oh, it's just okay. Criana's back.
I'm so sorry.
That's fine. Sorry, that sounded really deflated. No, I mean that's fine. A dark-haired elven woman would answer the door. You'd probably introduce yourselves, and soon, after initial confusion, you would be face to face with Zenthia, who would look at both of you first warily, and then give a thin smile, and she says, "Oh, hello again. Is everything all right?"
Everything's good. We
Ooh.
just stopped by to let you know that the Northern Gun's pretty confident that they've broken the Hellrider ring and captured their leaders and pretty much taken them off the streets.
Oh, for a moment you scared me. You came here at night, and the looks on your faces, I was concerned. But that's fantastic. I can go back home now.
Yes, absolutely, you can. And your information was a great help. So
Good.
thank you.
I'm glad. I'm glad Damari, his death wasn't completely in vain then. But that's it. They're all gone.
They have all the leaders have been captured. Anyone else that was associated with them, as far as I know, is on the run.
I see. Well, I'll go back home in a couple of days. I've almost outstayed my welcome here anyway. But thank you. She pauses for a moment. This might sound, well, maybe you would understand. She looks to Al, but she looks to Lavin. There's always been a rift between the people that live here and my folks and others that came from other places. Even if I was born on this planet, my parents or my grandparents were not. It's encouraging to know that you looked beyond my features and I could look beyond yours, and you helped me. That it might seem trivial, but it actually means a lot. So thank you.
Yeah, I don't. If your ears are pointy or not, it really doesn't matter to me.
Okay. Thanks, she says that uneloquent thank you, as is Lavin's character. And she'll bid you both a good night and another warm thanks before we wrap that up.
Sweet.
Groovy. Wonderful. So, as far as Z goes, you know when you last met him that the next meeting spot for the day, 12 o'clock for the next day, was supposed to be at the Royal Oakhurst Park. Alavin would know this. It's a small park funded by an influential Ishpeming trader family, the Oakhursts. Unfortunately, after selling their assets to the Northern Gun, the Oakhursts quickly left Ishpeming. Rumors float abound of scandal that forced them out, and the park now isn't very well populated or maintained. It is mostly, it's the size of about half of a city block, and it's dotted mostly by these large oak trees. Much of the grass and the shrubbery and whatnot have been overgrown, and there's only two simple paths, one running north to south, another east to west. You're supposed to meet Z in an indiscriminate corner in the middle of noon in the northeast corner of this park. So, what would you guys like to do? We can obviously speed ahead to the next day. We don't need to talk about the particulars of anything else. But, yeah, let me know what you'd like to do.
Well, here's a quick question, real quick.
Sure.
Where would we be spending the evening?
Wherever you like to, in a hotel, in the Ishpeming Arms Hotel, back on your behemoth. It's up to you.
Yeah.
It'd probably be easiest just to go to a hotel, right, guys?
Probably.
Let's ask Xanthia if we can crash at her place, man.
Yeah, right? No.
Can we stay for a while?
Oh my god. I guess she would. It would be awkward, though.
No.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
Okay, I know you are.
Yeah, let's just go for a hotel.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, the big thing is we're not going back to the Rhapsody, which doesn't
Okay,
make
so
much sense.
50 credits a night, then.
Okay.
Cool.
And then, yeah, Al would spend much of the night just trying to meditate.
Gotcha. Give me 2 seconds.
Oh, by the way,
Okay. I got
when
you.
when Tom was saying, yeah, he's going to rib you, he couldn't say what he wanted to say back in the meeting, but he would eventually say, oh yeah, like, we get your sister, we go do all this thing, and then you get this hovercraft.
Yeah, Al would just give Tom a very hurt look. And
Oh,
say
come
nothing.
on. Stop it.
Al wouldn't say anything.
All right.
Hold up. I got a message on the old Skype. Lavin also stopped off to pick up a...
Well, that's really old.
Is that really old?
Yeah, don't worry about
Oh,
it. The time is way past. That's okay. It didn't pan out anyway, so that's fine.
Oh, all right. Now I feel bad. Okay. Sorry, dude. This is why I need a lot of monitors.
Yeah, I feel you, Inferno. There's so many times I'm like, oh, there was a plus there for 5 minutes. I haven't seen it. So, I
So,
sympathize.
how tall is the hotel?
Oh my god. It is 3 stories tall.
Yeah, I'll climb that.
Okay. You climb it at night.
Cool.
You
Cool.
like Batman.
Batman. Justice.
Just this. Okay. Right. Fuck it. All right, Squee, do you want to do your thing now?
Sure, I would like to.
All right. Okay. Then go ahead and give us the link. Squee has a
Give me
small
1
little
second.
minor scene that he wants to play as
Ooh.
he rests for the night. So we're gonna listen to it, and we're gonna love.
We're gonna look now.
Wow, whoa now.
I can't say that.
Since I'm not going to be in his room, I'm not going to watch. Excuse me.
Piph? Piph, buddy. Don't fucking do this to me, man. I had a really shit week.
Bird's hands just come out of Pip's microphones
all right,
and start
link it.
strangling
Link
him.
it.
I'm grabbing it for you. What do you guys want the link? You want it in desync, Discord?
Skype
Yeah, dude.
or yeah, whatever.
Discord? I'll just throw it in Discord.
Because we can watch it in Discord.
Oh yeah, you could.
Technically.
Oh,
Weird.
Discord.
You okay, Inferno?
Yeah, I just laughed my ass off. I don't see it like. Oh no, it's in Rift.
Oh,
That's
it's
why.
in-
Okay.
Yeah, it's in.
Al talks to himself.
Yep.
Piph, I fucking swear to God.
Oh yeah.
All right.
All right, I am ready.
Countdown. I'm ready.
Yes, sir, Piph, please.
Spiral.
Oh, we're doing like a countdown thing here?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a countdown on go. We're gonna click the go button so we can all watch this together.
We can laugh in
Tradition.
unison.
Sure.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Just say one.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
So as Al winds down for the evening, you find yourself, as you have been recently, in order to quiet your very active and worried mind, start to meditate. And as you close your eyes and take deep breaths, you once again kind of go back to your general mystical teachings from Lee Stooks on how to breathe carefully, how to become at one with the magical energy that infuses this world and all life around you. And as you do so, your mind drifts in its relaxed state to certain points, whether it be activities that happened previous to the day, dreams, impressions you might have. And from time to time, these meditative trances go far back into your memory of past encounters. It is at one of these that these memories start to drift to the forefront of your mind. Go ahead and describe it.
Well, he is deep in the meditative trance, and especially the past few days, of course, he's been incredibly troubled. This has been building up pretty much ever since he heard about his sister being on the loose, and the stress that he's gone through just keeps getting bottled up inside. And whether it's that or whether it's something else, this meditation, he keeps hearing and going back to what his friends have been saying. He feels, whether rightly so or not, he feels like he's been treated almost like a monster by some of his friends, and that really deeply disturbs him. And in his meditation, he keeps hearing their voices, and it keeps mixing in with visions of things that he's done in the past. Like, he would hear Blink say,
You can judge me for being passive, and I will judge you for being a torturer. I can live with that.
and as he hears that, he sees images of him sitting in front of Coins while Coins suffered to get information that Al needed. He'll hear Ellie.
I'm just saying, Al, if it's going against what you believe in, there's no price. Like, it's not worth it.
And as he hears that, he sees images of him cutting on Jester. These images and visions and voices play in his head over and over. And he gets more and more internally frustrated, almost to the point of maybe breaking the meditation. And as a act of defiance, an act of perhaps denial or desperation, he kind of shouts down these images and thoughts with a mental thought of his own that equates to, they just don't understand. I have to be hard to do this. The world needs it. And when he says that, there is a quieting, a silence. The visions in his meditation stop. And there is, for a few brief moments, peace and quiet and nothing. And then, pure as day, as if he was reliving it, his entire mind is filled up with one memory. A very distant memory from his past. Actually, the day that he was accepted in the Coalition to be trained as a special operative. It was back in Chi-Town. His father had taken him to dinner. And it was a very unusual memory. It stuck out in his mind because it was almost impossible to separate Al and his sister Jalea, but his father had insisted this time. It was just him and his son. And Al's father took him out to a very nice restaurant, which was obviously unusual, a special occasion, very nice food, Al's favorite even, and they had a very good time. They talked about memories and everything, and how proud he was of his son. And towards the end of the meal, he grew more serious, and he eventually put his fork down, and he looked at Al, and he said, "Jordan, I am very proud of you, but I want to give you a piece of advice I wish someone had given me a long time ago. In our profession, and what we've chosen to do, there can be times where we feel as though we are forced to do things we're not comfortable with. For the best reasons, perhaps, to protect the ones we love or the ones we care about, to save lives, but all the same, there are things that we do not feel are right. Some people in our position choose to grow hard, like a rock, to wall up their emotions in order to do what they feel must be done. And there might come a time where you feel that you must make the same action, do the same thing. Jordan, I'm going to tell you something I learned a long time ago. Hardness is not strength. If you choose that path, I have no doubt that you will protect the ones you care about and you will save lives. But you will lose a piece of yourself, and you will never again bring joy to those ones that you love. You will never again be the reason they smile. You may save them, but you will never be a part of them." And with that, Al is just snapped out of his meditation. He's back wherever he was, his eyes wide open, tears streaming down his face, and he's breathing very heavily, as if he'd just finished a marathon. Slowly, his breathing slows down, and his tears stop. His eyes close, and he falls back into a meditation, one that is far deeper and far more peaceful than any he has known in a very long time. For most of the meditation, even though he'll never know it, Al is smiling.
And that is that. Wait, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Did I miss- Okay, all right. Good
So it
stuff.
sounds like Al had a good meditation.
He had a good night's
Meditation
rest.
for
Yeah.
Al.
Okay, good.
You'd be amazed what a good night's sleep can do.
You'd be surprised. So on to the obviously I don't want to it's an in-character development, so don't comment it on too much. Everyone heard, so that's all good. On to Mr. Z and the Oakhurst Park. So do you guys want to just slide on over the park and see if he's kicking around?
Yeah.
Sure.
I would just
Okay.
say that that next morning, everyone noticed Al's seems much brighter and happier than he was obviously the day before.
Okie dokie.
God, he loves that bike.
Dear
Okay.
God, that's it.
Piph, I want to bottle you up and take you home. All right.
Put you on my desk.
Put you on my desk, open it up, and just hear, God, he loves that bike whenever I need to. All right. Anyway, enough digression. Sure enough, Oakhurst Park is exactly how Lavin recalled it, and in the middle of the day, although it's flanked by a few squat, long buildings, the park doesn't seem to be really interfered with at all. The pedestrians, there aren't very many pedestrians, frankly, none almost, going to and through the park, but many on the sidewalks outlining it. It's noon, and the foot traffic, since this is not in a significant industrial or downtown area, is light but present. You you approach the park from the south, travel along the crunching dirt path up towards the north end, diverge off to the left towards the east, and meeting in this rendezvous point that were wondering if you'll see Z at. And sure enough, not sitting, but standing attentively by the tree in a gray hoodie and blue slacks and booted feet, but with the small lights underneath the hoodie itself and his hands in the hoodie's pockets, you see the familiar bearing of Z. He swivels his head towards you as you approach, and he says, "You are alive. That is excellent. I calculated a 13% chance of your death. I am glad you have fallen into the 87th percentile. Yesterday was eventful, troubling, but eventful."
Yeah, so we missed you at the end there.
He nods. He says, "Calculating. That is true. Are you implying that I should have still been there?"
I am saying that we didn't know you were going to leave.
I see. Calculating response. I would like to inform you that my excellent hearing heard the one known as Patrick Kinsman yell that there was an explosive device in the vicinity. I had to calculate quickly the possibilities. First, primary, the size and explosive power of the weapon. Secondly, the need to optimize Ishpeming. Thirdly, the time left before the device would explode. Fourth, my ability to disarm the bomb in time. After factoring in all calculations, I determined I could no longer optimize this city if I was destroyed, and therefore decided to vacate the area.
And you didn't want to... I suppose you couldn't tell us. By the way, I thought you said you could keep our radios clear.
Correct, he says.
But they
Was this
weren't
not the
clear.
case?
No, they were jammed the entire time.
Problematic. Calculating.
Wait, you didn't know, so you didn't even try to tell us you were leaving?
I was not aware. I did not have my calculating. My radio signal on. I was in a scrambling process. I did not open up a channel. Perhaps there was an additional scrambler. Patrick, roll me D100, please. Anyone else who has robotics, roll me a D100 as well.
I got no robotics.
Okay. Robotics in general. Would this be under electronics? This is a difference. Mechanics or electronics?
Mechanics.
Okay.
Patrick, you've had most of your knowledge is based on robots of this world, labor bots common to the market. You have had experience with advanced robotics, like involving the giant brain and up in space. And thanks to that insight, you know that the calculation speed for a response for any robotic unit, but especially one as advanced as this is proposed to be, is in milliseconds. He keeps saying calculating, but the integers in which he needs to calculate are simple and would require a very quick response. In fact, he's demonstrated this before. But these pauses in between probably means one of two things. One, he's calculating more than he is implying. Or secondly, he's stalling.
Um, I guess Patrick's first instinct would be to Um, Patrick would probably say pineapple.
Oh shit!
Oh, God.
I forget. Does Lavin know what that is?
Probably not.
I don't think
I
so.
didn't think so.
Okay, so this will be interesting for Lavin and Z.
Oh boy, Al's gonna throw his hood up over his eyes.
Ellie takes cover.
Query: why are you bringing up a fruit? And as Lavin, a bright light shines from Patrick's hand, so bright and so sudden, it temporarily blinds you. You're -10 on strike, parry, and dodge, and you lose a bunch of initiative. But I don't think this might. Just role play that you're temporarily blind. This will last for about a minute or so.
So that would affect the cybernetic eye too?
Only slightly. This is the interesting thing about that. Your human eye is blind for the good minute. After about 15 to 20 seconds or so, your cybernetic eye will be able to calibrate and recalibrate after the sudden exposure. So it's delayed. Okay. So you still can't see anything for the first few seconds, but then your cybernetic eye will compensate. Okay?
Yep.
And you can see Z's eyes too also flash for a moment, trying to compensate for the sudden light. During this time, the bright lights of his eyes start to flip to red, to blue, to green, then white again. But this cycle takes about 3 to 4 seconds. During this time, what would everyone like to do, including temporarily blinded Lavin?
Gosh, since I don't know what's going on, I guess Al would say fighting or running.
You see Patrick not responding, but casting a spell at the thing.
Right. Al says and will immediately start casting a spell as well, probably behind Patrick.
Okay. Ellie?
Ellie's hit the floor, hit the deck. She's like covering her head and like taking cover.
Okay.
Tom is backing the hell off.
Okay.
Lavin is shouting expletives.
Okay, perfect. What spells is Patrick and Al casting?
Mine would be Magic Net.
Okay.
And Al's understanding he started after Patrick and is going to assume Patrick is probably casting something to hold or disable. Al is going to cast Energy Bubble with a wide berth. So basically,
Z is about 5 feet in front of you.
Yeah, so as wide as he can without hitting him or someone else, so that hopefully it doesn't disrupt
4.5
Patrick.
feet.
Yeah.
Okay, not a problem. Z, as he's cycling through all of this, swivels towards the sound of the spells, but he doesn't do anything. He stays there. Your spells go off. A magic net surrounds him, soon to be following a field. His eyes cycle through. and those crisp white orbs clear up and look towards you. And he says, "You have cast magic upon me. Please explain."
I will kind of lean over to Patrick and quietly go, "Yeah, what are we doing?"
Lavin,
Something
at this
doesn't-
point, things are dark around the edges. You're starting to get sight back in your cybernetic eye.
Okay.
What he's saying doesn't entirely add up, especially during his speech patterns. Even our simplistic technology would not take him this long to actually gain answers.
I see.
Mostly what he's saying is that he's a selfish coward. Doesn't seem very optimized.
So now that I think about it, it also seems unlikely that you wouldn't have calculated how this would look from our point of view. You leave in the middle of battle, right when we find out that this is some sort of setup. Our radios are jammed after you assured us that they would not be, and you don't even seek to tell us that you're going. How would you calculate that would look?
Poorly. Because of this, I have taken on Lavin's request. I have decided, as an apology, and as calculating, a deep regret for my mistake in interpreting the radio signals. I have calculated that the average account in the Northern Gun Manastique Imperium Bank contains 557,092 credits. I have decided to open up a new account for each of you, giving you this exact amount, therefore calibrating, optimizing, making things equal for you. Is
This
this
guy's
sufficient?
full of shit.
Al looked
Error
at-
would misbalance the economy. You lose. You are no robot. Your reaction times would be way too slow for that. You are most likely a cyborg.
Not to mention that Z made it very clear he couldn't feel things like regret.
The eyes of Z flick to a bright blue, and his simple, slightly synthesized baritone voice changes to something far more robotic as he states, "My master was right. You are dangerous. Good job. Resourceful humans."
Al pulls out his radio. Should we contact our friends and let them know we found something they might find interesting?
There is no need. There will be nothing of me left in order for them to analyze. My master has assured that in my very construction. But I am here to offer a final gambit, a final offer.
Question, is that force field visible?
Yeah, it's slightly
It's-
translucent.
Yeah, slightly translucent blue.
Al would say, I'm listening.
I have not heard a word, instructions from my master, my creator, in quite some time. I am operating on old information. And final directives of his. If you let me go, I promise to leave Ishpeming and leave it alone. Me and my partner will no longer influence the criminal market, nor will we attempt to usurp it. Instead, we will try to communicate with our master for future directives.
Who's your partner?
I cannot tell you. Right now, you are assessed at 17% threat. If I divulge any more additional information, you may catapult up to at least 33% threat to my master. This is unacceptable. You are already too powerful, too creative, too inquisitive, too threatening.
Your master said that we were dangerous. Your master knows us?
He knows you extremely well. That is all I will say. It is in your interest to cooperate.
So either turn him into LPO or cut him into little pieces.
Well,
Incorrect. If you do not accept this deal, I will take matters to ensure absolute and utter protection. I am just an extension of my master's body.
Patrick turns to Lavin. He's going to self-destruct.
Correct.
Al starts backing up. Question, Mr. GM.
Mm-hmm.
Can I cast a second energy barrier above the first or around the first?
Sure. As long as you have the PPE and the space, you can cast as many as you like.
Oh, God. Al's going to start because he has no idea how big this would be.
You can try putting it around him so other environments don't get that much destruction.
Well, it's like 4.5. Is there anything within that 4.5 foot bubble that's
A hedge.
a hedge?
And
No,
a ground
not the
squirrel.
hedge.
No, not the squirrel.
No, I'm teasing.
I'll
Not a
save
gro-
the squirrel.
Not
Oh,
a ground squirrel.
Yeah, I mean, Al would probably, the next one would be directly over him because why not try and contain it as much as possible? So Al's not going to be talking anymore. He's going to be casting. Well, so he will be talking, but you know what I mean. Not conversational.
You say
I-
self-destruct. Do you mean like fizzle spurt? Or are you talking like kaboom?
As in, there will be nothing left of him. Kaboom.
Will there be anything left of us?
We should be
Hopefully
fine.
not, says Z. You were perfect tools until the end.
Well, I mean, I got nothing for this, so what can I do for this?
Will I take your casting of your magic and your silence as a non-committal on my offer?
Can we get back to you?
Incorrect. No.
Does Al get the second one off in time to
Yeah.
say something, or all right? He'll
Well,
say,
he gets the second one off in time. It's been a few seconds.
all right. He'll say, "You promised us that you could help us last time. That promise fell through. Why would we have any reason to believe a second one?"
Because it is in your best interest.
We have no reason to believe that.
Patrick holds up a finger to Al. I'd like to hear the proposal.
Okay. By all means, tell him your proposal. I'm just erecting safeguards.
You want Z to go ahead with his proposal?
Yes. Or, wait. Yes.
Yes, good. If you release me, allow me to return to my master and continue with communications. I can put forward a message to him. Perhaps you could convince him that you are not a threat, or that you could be useful to him, that you could be used, optimized, perfected. He might be open to this error, this idea. This is not the first time that my master has changed humanity to something more perfect, stronger. This is in your best interest, because if you resist, you will perish, whereas if you join us, you will flourish.
Understood. We will definitely decline your offer.
Al looks at Patrick. Why does that sound familiar?
There's a new master on the throne like I definitely did not want to actually know.
Oh, fuck. James T. Or
No.
whoever made him better.
The brain.
Yeah,
No,
I'll say
not
I'll
even
say
the
it.
brain.
What? Then what is it, Patrick?
Remember the man with the robots?
Yeah?
Him.
Him?
Him.
Richard Morris. I see by your floundering, you are not nearly as much of a threat as I assumed. Perhaps only 13%. Regardless of everything, it was a pleasure to work with you. We have learned much.
How? Sorry,
Sure.
you said. How close is like the nearest like person?
Person,
like-
to you? It'd probably be
No,
Neil.
like- No. Like in terms of like, I'm thinking like casualties,
Well, no
collateral
one's
damage.
in the park, so the closest person is about, probably, you can't see them, but it's probably a pedestrian on the sidewalk, which is about a quarter of a block away.
That seems pretty close.
Yep. Al's going to, the second Patrick says what he said, Al's going to start casting a third time to cast a third energy bubble if he can make it in time.
And with a final goodbye, you start to hear beep, 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 beep. Your spell goes off. How much MDC is each field?
10.
10?
Yes, 10.
So
Oh, no,
30 in
sorry. MDC. Sorry, I thought you meant PPE. 60 MDC per field.
60. Okay, so 180 MDC.
Correct.
Is there anything you guys would like to do while Z is beeping?
Pray.
Fucking
Okay.
run.
I would want to like make a loud noise, possibly like fire my gun into the air and shout bomb.
Okay.
I don't think we can leave these fields, can we?
No, you're not in. No, the fields are
No.
around Z.
Yeah, they're on Z, not
I
us.
thought the first one was on us.
No.
No.
No,
it
I
was-
assume they're all on Z.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first one was a 4.5 foot bubble around Z.
Oh, I thought it was around us too.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I don't
No,
think
no,
I
no.
can move.
No, the idea, Al's idea was to contain him, not to contain us.
Oh,
Because the first spell he cast was to capture, not to contain an explosion.
okay.
All right. Then if that's the case, Ellie will get up. She's gonna, as she's ready, she's gonna pick up Patrick and run with him.
Patrick's actually pretty swift in comparison to the others, but yes, if that's still the case.
Yeah, she'll
Patrick
just
will
like
not.
scoop him up as she's running.
All right. So Lavin's running, warning people of a bomb.
No, I'm flying.
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
going up.
Okay, sorry. Lavin is flying, going up, warning people of a bomb. Patrick and Tom. Patrick and Ellie are running from the scene. Al, Tom?
Al is backing up as much as he can while casting. I mean, if he has time, he's going to try and cast a fourth one.
Okay, you
yeah.
can't move very fast while casting. You got
I
to
know.
concentrate on the spell. So.
No, I know, but
Okay.
it's if it's a risk to get a fourth one off and perhaps contain the explosion, he'll take it.
Okay. Tom?
He's gonna be booking it too.
Okay. Final beep turns into a tinny sound, which is soon hyphenated by an explosion as a rocket of shards coat the inside of the electric field, piercing the first one but stopping on the second. The entire 4.5 foot area is just coated in shards of metal and scrap as Z explodes. There is nothing left but melted, burning husks of plastic, wire, and chassis. Everyone is able to hear the explosion through the field, since the field does not dampen sound. Al's spell goes off a few seconds later, but it's not necessarily needed, but you should still spend the PPE because you're casting. Lavin, you're already about, I'd say about a good solid 100 feet into the air when you hear the explosion sound. And I'm assuming you would turn back to investigate?
Yeah, like I would look after hearing the sound. I'd look, and if it looked like it wasn't.
Well, there's no fires, there's no smoke, there's no big crater.
yeah, I'd go back.
Okay. Would we say it's similar for the other player characters, the ones who booked it? Take a look around their shoulder after the explosion when they realize that they're still alive?
Ellie's gonna keep running.
Patrick will look because I doesn't have much else to do at the moment.
Once again, you see just a glimmer of a field and a few lights of chassis hitting the sun, but you don't see a big crater, big explosion, dirt flying anywhere, trees being knocked down. Nothing that demolition-like.
Did anyone die? Ellie says, like, still running.
No.
I think
Well,
Al.
Patrick is
Yeah.
the only one within earshot right now because
Yeah.
Ellie can run really fucking fast.
Yeah.
She's almost at the edge of the park already, and it's been literally 3 seconds.
No one has died.
Okay,
The
then we should
robot-
get out of here. Ellie's just gonna book it out of there because she doesn't want the popo coming and getting them again.
Oh, the popo.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Disappearing would be fantastic.
Yeah, I think Al would. He just expended the majority of his PPE in like less than a minute. I assume that would take, wind him or be some sort of a physical toll.
Well, you can roleplay it as you like it.
Yeah, he would just kind of breathe a bit, maybe like be sweating a little bit from the strain, and then come to the same conclusion and start running after them.
Okay. Well, say for the sake of simplicity, Tom and Lavin, you're also going to leave the area?
Oh yes.
Yeah,
definitely.
I would just follow suit, I guess.
Okay. All right. Well, say you guys exit the area for about 2 to 3 blocks away before reconvening. You do hear the distant sounds of sirens heading towards the park, but no one has halted. You yelled at you, forced you to stop. So it looks like you're able to get away from the area without any sort of police interference. And with that, I'll give you guys, one last moment this session to talk amongst each other in character, and then we're going to wrap things up.
That guy was a dick.
Yeah, Al would catch up to you guys, breathing heavily. Yeah, that was not how I expected that to go.
Well, this just reinforces what I was concerned about.
Yeah. Looks like Jackie's staying deactivated for a while.
Just a little while longer.
So, you think the big brain was never in control in the first place?
No, I think he was. I think he had a few things to get through, and we just opened a way.
Well, I think it's safe to say he won't be a threat to us for the rest of the day. So that's something.
Last place we saw him was in Tolkien. Odd place to be in. Hopefully he has not followed. No, he's been there for a while. Wonder if he has multiple. Patrick stops for a moment.
Al looks at Patrick for a bit and goes, "Hey, Lavin, you had a thing to bury, right? Maybe we should get on that. That sounds good. Let's do that."
Who's the guy? The Tolkien robot mad
Okay,
scientist guy?
so quick version of the story. We met a guy who was mostly android, bit of a dick, but said that
Understatement of the year.
yeah, bit of a dick, but said that there was an bigger evil dick that needed help with, and we found the big brain, literally a big brain. Patrick kind of pissed it off with a logic problem. There was a fight. We thought we killed it. Maybe we did kill it. I think we killed it. Anyway, short end of the story is we later met another guy who seemed to have some sort of ties with it, some human guy. And we saw him again in Tolkien, and from what we just encountered, looks like that guy doesn't like us.
Why does everything always got to be so weird and complicated with you guys?
I don't know, Lavin.
We're glutton for punishment. Hey, right? No one's laughing. Okay, I thought it was kind of funny, so I'll just laugh. Haha.
Al's smiling.
That's not a laugh.
Did she actually say that?
Yeah, she'll look at Al and just say that's not a laugh.
Al shrugs. Like I said, probably not a threat we have to worry about today.
All right, so by that, I guess you guys are interested in going and finding out what this pure rock turns into?
Sure.
Yeah.
Dig a hole, stick something in it, get some sort of treasure. Sounds fun.
Delightful. And with that, we'll wrap up the session, and we'll start next session with that rock.
Cool.
Yay! I'm really happy. I wasn't too sure if we'd be able to wrap up everything or how things would turn out. I had many contingencies, especially for Z, but this was very direct. I don't think you could ask for more closure than that. I mean, sure, it opens up a few other questions, but puts an end cap on everything.
You know, that also means that the cover that Basilisk was the informant is solidified a bit.
That's true. Yeah. And I just realized this too. The self-destruct mechanism in and of itself is another huge clue that he's related to what we were facing before, because all of those bots self-destructed.
Yep.
True.
The exact same way.
And with the blue eyes and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, Jackie. Poor Jackie.
Inferno, before I forget, how much does a silver spade cost? I'm assuming I could just buy one.
Oh, yes, you can buy one. You'll have to go to a specialist dealer, kind of more of a curio shop, and you'd have to do some shopping. But considering the last scene we had was at 8 o'clock in the evening and this was at noon, we can say your character spent the afternoon shopping for one. And
Sure.
you're able to find one. It'll cost you a little chunk of money. It'll cost you about, since it is going to be pure silver. Initially, it's a shovel that is going to be melted down to a smaller spade. It'll cost you 500 credits.
Okay, I just didn't want to forget for next session.
No,
cool.
that's really good. So at least you have now all the tools to do your quest, right? And we don't want to forget giving Basilisk his boost too, because that will be fun.
Definitely.
Oh yeah.
Depending on what you give him. Oh my God, this swell.
And also, I didn't want to slow things down too much during the session and all that, but if this changes anything at all, Al would actually want to spend the time to find a really nice guitar for Tom, if that changes the price or anything like that.
Sure. If you want super premium, awesome acoustic guitar that has like a history and great craftsmanship to it, make it 2,000 credits.
Ooh.
Are there more than one?
More than one? Not of something of that design. Not like a master crafted one that's ready to go right off the get go.
All right. Then he'll just
get another nice, really solid one for about 850 credits.
Sure. Would that be better than just the normal one Al has right now?
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
So yeah, I'll get both. Yeah, I'll get both, and I'll give the really nice one to Tom.
I don't know guitar technology all that well, but it's made of a wood that allows the acoustics, and the strings are easier to finger and all that good stuff.
Cool.
I know.
Ooh, a classical, maybe like a classical guitar, like
yeah.
a nylon string.
Sexy guitar, yeah.
Yeah.
To get out to dinner and finger it.
All right, so
guitar, baby.
So Tom, Al would be giving you a very masterly crafted guitar.
Sweet.
Masturbatory.
Oh my God! Can you stop, please?
No, I can't. I can't turn this off.
Just hold on. There's just like a couple seconds.
There's no off
left in the
switch. I just gotta make all the crude jokes I can. You don't understand.
Anyways,
Corn.
Inferno.
Yes.
And by that account, Squee as well. I do believe that Al wanted Tom to show him where and how to get a rifle for him. right?
No, Al doesn't have that skill.
I thought you told me a while ago that you wanted to do that.
Yeah, I was. That was back when I was considering
Getting that skill, but
yeah,
Okay.
but I ended up taking 2 other skills, so that won't be necessary. But I appreciate it.
I just want to get a normal scope because I flubbed and I didn't get a normal scope for my rifle. I just have the night vision and the infrared. Can I do that? Can I? Inferno, can I do that?
Yes.
All right, sweet. Anyone have anything else?
No.
I love you guys.
No.
I'm happy. Al won't be so down in the dumps
Emo?
anymore.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
Well,
yeah.
Why
Should I end
must
the
this happen
session?
to me?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, let's end this session.
All right, thank you
No,
guys
Are
for
we done?
watching.
Bye.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah. Catch
Bye.
you guys next Sunday. Don't forget 3 Galaxies Wednesday. Okay, bye.
Bye.